live, laugh, love on her wall, and I was like,
I would have
live, laugh, love.
You know the
I would have
one.
pulled the wall
Why
down.
do people have those signs?
Just in case they forget to live, you know.
I find those motivational things so jarring. I'm just like, why do you need to constantly be reminding yourself of that on the wall?
If I can have a motivational poster on my wall,
I'd have the cat hanging on
yeah,
in there.
Mine would just be it would just say, it would be a picture of a toilet, and underneath it would say,
God.
Keep calm and carry on.
it would be, if you're not bleeding, you're not clean. Can we get on a t-shirt, please?
If you're not bleeding, you're not clean.
Yeah.
I still think keep calm and carry on would apply to your toilet activity as well.
Yeah.
I mean, my toilet activity largely
How are we
consists of...
starting with toilet already?
Do you know what we are?
I thought he got this out of his system.
No, it's always in my
I
system.
purposely said,
It's always in my system.
Can we get all any bumhole chat out of the way before we hit record?
Well, welcome to Adapt, Improvise, Overcome. That's what we're doing.
Is that on the wall as well?
It
should be, yeah.
It should
and
be.
don't
in
forget,
that font, that really like fairy tale font.
Everyone's thinking, when I do like research for the videos, they probably had this idea of me sat on the computer just thinking like, what's going on? But actually, half of it, I'm sat on the toilet reading articles on my phone. So an hour later, well, what's going on, boys? Mike's had a voice message.
Research.
I've read a few articles. I've sent Austin a message saying, Austin, can you look at this, please? And another one saying, guys, I'm still on the toilet. That's pretty much what
I can hear the echo. I know when you're in the toilet.
Yeah, everyone knows. It's so bait. I've answered many a professional phone call on that toilet. And I'm so like, bet they know I'm on the toilet.
Good. Okay, cool. Well,
I've got my preamble stuff ready.
You've got your notes written down. You've written about 2 words.
3, thank you very much.
All right, well, feel free to preamble away.
I've got TikTok.
Well, hang on. What is TikTok? I saw your story the other day. You were at a TikTok event.
Also, you kept it quiet that it was like a sporting event. TikTok.
You were at a fucking football match.
Yeah.
You don't do football.
That's the one they. Of course I don't. This cardio is bad for you. It's very bad for you.
Hang on, you didn't have to play, did you?
No.
Were you invited to play?
So I was invited as a VIP.
That quad would have gone.
Honestly, this set me off. I was invited as a VIP. So then you got +1. So I was like, Breach, I've been invited to this, got +1. He goes, oh, go on then, let's go. I was like, nah. He said, yeah, let's go. So I said, fine, if you go, we'll do it. So we did it. I got there. Oh, what's your name on the list? Oh, Harry, blah, blah. Oh, you're playing. I was like, bro. I was like, Breach's face drops. And he goes, oh, sorry, other Harry. I was like, thank God, oh my Lord, because I'm not stepping on that field. So I walk upstairs and I see all these TikTok influencers walking past me on the stairs, like Luke Bennett. Again,
did you know any of these people?
I don't follow it.
Because I wouldn't know a TikTok influencer if they slapped me in the face.
I know of them because they pop on my For You page, but I don't follow them. I don't invest in their content. I see like some guy called Simon's daughter. I think her name's like Kaylee or something. I can't remember. And then I see the Astrid Wet, the TikTok influencer who's also a porn star. You know that one. That's all you. Yeah.
He's pointing at Mike for that record.
And then Cal the Dragon, he was there. So I'm stood next to all these people, and obviously I'm just thinking, I'm looking around, and like collectively, the people in this room have over 10 million followers on TikTok.
I thought you were going to total up their brain cells.
Less than 10 million. And I look around, I was like, I don't know any of you. I know of you, but probably not for the right reasons. And then I came to the conclusion, first of all, I can never be an influencer, I've decided, because I don't have the fake energy that a lot of them were like displaying. They were quite, what I mean?
The enthusiasm for everything.
And I know in real life that's probably not them. And a lot of them were quite young, obviously younger than I am. And I just felt like
full of potential.
I know what you're trying to do, and you think you've got to have that like LA vibe sort of thing. And I was like, it doesn't work over here. And it was quite awkward. They were like, one of them, I saw his Instagram afterwards. It's proof that social media is a highlight reel. He's like, yeah, man, TikTok's pretty cool sometimes. He's posted that he's at this event. I was like, Champions, I was at the event. I was the VIP too. First of all, why the shit was I there? Second of all, the VIP probably had about 20 people in it. He's acting like it's some lit party. I was like, Champions, there's 20 people there. And the atmosphere was that of my toilet. There was nothing going on. And he's like swearing at his camera and stuff, like acting like all cool. And I was like,
this is fucking awesome.
I didn't know his name. I actually popped up on my For You page recently. We nicknamed him Frosted Tips because he had frosted tip hair.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did actually. I said bring that back in fashion.
NSYNC.
And then the old event starts. Can we acknowledge over 10 million followers between like everyone, if not more? Guess how many people turned up to the stage? Huge, big stadium, like a full stadium. But think, over 10 million followers. Guess how many people?
I'm going to guess that you didn't even fill half a stand.
I'm going to say 600.
Wow, really?
600. Okay, so
I reckon about 50. Including you.
Less than 50. Including VIPs, I reckon you probably had about 60.
So the people that were like not contractually obliged to be there, the people that were invited down
the
made
VIPs
up most
that
of
went,
the crowd.
We were about half the crowd, and we
Hang
were
on.
upstairs in like the standy bits.
What was the general point? What was it to achieve?
It was like a charity. It wasn't even charity. It was just a TikTok football event called like Content Ballers, where they like it's like the North versus the South like football. They had some like pro players in there, which is quite cool. In fairness, I don't follow the old football machine, but the standard of football was not like awful from what I've heard. I was like, fair.
Did they have commentary?
They did. Obviously, I didn't hear it because it's all on their.
The content ball match today.
That was all on the
We've
TikTok
got
live
Harry
stuff.
Moore. Harry Moore's on the ball right now. He's looking very lively. He's in leggings. He's in his custom Pulp Fiction leggings. He looks tremendous.
That could be a shout. I was looking around. I'm just looking at all.
Oh, he's
people.
pulled over. Oh, he's substituted.
He's been sick. He's out of breath.
He's done it. He's done his hamstring already.
He's calling
down.
his mum. I look
He's
around.
got his water bottle. For some reason, he insists on playing with the water bottle in hand.
Come on now. Why are you going to bring
The thing I love,
sport water bottle
the thing
into
I
it?
love about TikTok is like the reason why people are really famous, like air quotes, famous on there for the most obscure reasons, because TikTok is such an obscure platform.
The thing is, I look around these TikTok influencers. I'm thinking, none of you know I bench 4 plays. I can bench more than all.
But people are famous for like doing like a random dance, or maybe just like showing people how to
I'm
cook.
gonna say something which I don't want anyone to take the wrong way, but this is I believe to be but I believe this is actually very fair, and I'm not saying this is what I do, but it's what I've observed. So you've got about 10 million followers between them, and no one turns up. I reckon you probably had about 30, 40 kids there, with some of them with their parents, because obviously they're all marketed to young kids. They're all like 13 to 15. And let's say like teenagers, maybe even younger, some maybe 11. And it hit me, and I said to Breach, I said, on YouTube, you invest in the content creator because you care about what they're producing. You want to know what they have to say. You care about their opinion. On TikTok, you probably follow and invest in the creator for many times, or maybe you do care about them, but depending on the creator, it's because you probably are taking the piss out of them. It's essentially you invest in them to bully them.
I see what you mean.
So, for
like
example,
performing monkey dance. Yeah.
And like, because a lot of the people who are being featured were, some were. One guy was like 51, so they were chanting inappropriate slurs at him for being older than the rest. I'm sure you can imagine what they were. Yeah, things like that. So again, bullying, and then also things like some of them.
It's like a zoo, isn't it?
Yeah. Some of them were like, some of them had like learning difficulties and things like that, and you know that they follow them to take the piss out of them. And that's essentially what it is.
Do you wonder if this is a new business model for TikTok, where actually they're like, we can monetize the idea of people want to be famous, so we've got that covered, and then people love to come and just see people in the flesh. So TikTok are laughing, being like, we could create these pseudo events, where we can just.
That didn't fucking work, did it?
No, it's not working at the moment.
TikTok is essentially
get some bigger people though.
Yeah, but I think you had more people actually care. But I think for this market and for who was playing, like the relevant people, I think the majority of their followers probably follow them to take the piss out of them, don't actually give a shit about them, and ultimately are just there to verbally abuse and bully because they're young and stuff like that.
But then imagine if they can just create these events all over the country where you have to pay out £10 to go in.
It was a £10 to go in.
Yeah. So you get to watch all these TikTokers doing these stuff. So TikTok are laughing, just counting all the notes, going, "This is so great. We don't need to create any entertainment because people are just going to come and watch people they watch on their phones." Yeah. And then there's a conveyor belt of content creators all the time because people go in and out of vogue so fast. It's just like, there's that woman that does all the cleaning things. She's punching that other guy in the face in a boxing match or something.
Funny.
Talking of abuse and punching, Will Smith.
Oh yeah. So Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. That was an interesting one, wasn't it? Did you see that? You must have seen it.
I have seen it. And you know what? I watched a video the other day of another angle.
I challenged it being set up.
Have you heard about, again, I want to clarify, I do not know if this is fact whatsoever, it's just what I've heard online. Apparently Pfizer sponsored the Oscars. And then apparently Pfizer have just released, again, I literally, it's probably bullshit. I just saw it online and I was like, if this is true, that's interesting. So apparently Pfizer sponsored the Oscars, and apparently Pfizer have also just released an alopecia drug. And then this whole thing
hilarious.
About making a comment. Again, probably
that's a
bit of a shot in the dark.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, I don't know if I trust.
I don't, it's the internet, I don't
There's a video, right? Which I think.
I've seen the angles, where he's like laughing and so.
Have you seen the angle where it's, I forget her name now. His wife,
Jada,
sorry, is like sat looking at Chris Rock, And then Will storms up, and it's taken like a couple of rows back, so it's like facing the stage. And he goes up, does the whole slap thing, and comes back down. And Jade is kind of laughing and clapping, but she does not break like eye contact with Chris Rock. She doesn't even acknowledge Will or what he's done. And he just sits down, and she's still just sat like this, just staring at Chris Rock.
She's looking at him. She's thinking.
And I'm just wondering like how much of it is just like...
As Will walked away from... Are you right over there?
I've got a cough. I don't actually have a cough.
Some water.
Oh, it's funny because I've got an emotional support water bottle right here. Thank you.
And there's top-ups there for you.
As he walks away, he's like kind of smirking, which I found strange. I don't know. It's weird.
But how'd I do? How'd I do, guys?
Yeah. It's very odd. I mean, one thing he has done, which I think is quite good, well, it's not good, but he will be in Oscar history. If he might have considered, this is my only Oscar I'm going to get, I'm going to go, this will be talked about for Oscars to come.
Views aren't going down the pan, so maybe.
So I do wonder if it's his way of leaving an Oscars-based legacy somehow. I don't know.
No.
The world we live in, where obviously you've got like A-list celebrities like Will, where they are the big stuff.
They can't go anywhere in the world without being recognised.
But like now, the world we live in, obviously social media influencers are very much deemed to be celebrities in their own right, in their own kind of field.
Jake Paul and people like that.
Yeah, like, and then now you go into obviously TikTok and stuff, but they're all celebrities for different reasons. Like movie star, you're a celebrity because you're on the TV. YouTube, they probably care about the content. TikTok, it might be for bullying purposes or because they care about the content.
It's like that fast entertainment.
Yeah, it's just...
Well, they reckon that's part of the demise of Hollywood, isn't it? Because of people now, and especially things like Netflix and streaming, they just think now that like this idea that the most famous people on the planet are either sports stars or Hollywood actors or actresses, and not that so much of a big thing now. And it's more so like these social media peoples.
There you go.
Which I get. I think it's great that social media is giving people a platform to pursue that kind of avenue, which is great. Although I don't condone obviously following someone for the purpose of essentially bullying them, and for that reason. I think the fact that TikTok and like YouTube have given just like quote unquote like normal people access to thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people, where they can provide something to them, entertainment, education, and be known in their field and create a business and a career from it, I think is great.
The only other thing, the flip side of that, the dark side of that, is that it gives people a platform that probably shouldn't have a platform.
Yeah, but you got a lot of extremists have platforms who'd be like, a lot of people pushing bullshit information.
Well, do you remember what happened? Plenty. Was it...
You've made a YouTube channel out of debunking that.
Yeah, that's a great thing about... It's not in a good way, but the thing is, someone said to me, he goes, oh, do you not worry your content's you're going to run out of content? I said, the sad reality is... is that the fitness industry has... More. Well, that's the thing, the fitness industry has been pushing out all industries, but obviously I focus on the fitness industry, has been pushing out so much bullshit for so long. It's just like, it just multiplies. There will always be someone doing something stupid, and for me to basically say, please don't do that, it's not good for you.
90-degree squat, man.
Yeah, shout out Joel Seedman. You haven't unfollowed me yet. This is shocking behaviour because I thought you would.
Someone DM'd into the podcast about certain exercises giving them a square bum, and I was just like, see, these kind of things still exist.
Okay, SpongeBob, what's going on there?
SpongeBob square bum.
I kind of made the point of being like, I just telling her about like that's not really a thing, and just kind of explained it, and she was very grateful for the answer. But it just goes to show like that was a very current thing, like, and it's like, wow.
We laugh at the concept of a square bum. We don't laugh at the fact that somebody believes that, because when somebody is new to the industry, or it maybe doesn't know better, they probably heard that from somebody they trusted, like an influencer who has a platform.
Someone who has higher authority.
Yeah, why would they lie to you?
And it's that whole idea, you don't know what you don't know. So if you don't know anything about training or nutrition, then you're going to walk in and be like, well, why would someone make something up? And you're like, because they want to make money.
Yeah, and honestly,
you're like, really? Now, like, yeah, sorry.
The thing is, I'm going to say it now. I'm going to bring the sauce. I'm allowed to bring the sauce on our podcast. So Bloggolates, I'm about to do a video on her, but I'm going to have drop some absolute bombs on it. So she does a lot of ads on, like, she does some bullshit adverts.
She's like promoting like all those stupid like manscaping products and stuff.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
I haven't watched your advert.
Go on, big man.
Wait.
So like, also, they sent me this read of like, they're probably never going to listen to this, so that's fantastic. They sent me a read of like suggested things they want me to say. I've been that straight away. No chance. I'll do it my own way.
But that's still unopened, just on the side.
No, I had a read of it, but I was like, I said to them at the start, if I'm going to do it my way, and if that's a problem, then we're not doing business or thing. Like, I've got my approach to shit, which is like transparency. But I see her post some stuff like, if you breathe into this, it'll tell you whether you need carbs and all this stuff.
There is that thing where you can breathe into it, tells you about your metabolic rate.
Lumen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me more science behind it. But you know how much money she's getting paid for that?
I don't want to know.
One can assume, based on just life, you're looking at thousands, if not over 10 grand for that.
Yeah,
Because,
I mean,
and she pushes a lot of crap because and everyone's like, why would she lie? Someone comes to you and says, I'll give you 15 grand for an Instagram post.
Read this, don't question the science.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you're
sure,
gonna
I don't
say
know
no?
better. I don't know better, so I'm just going to read it.
15 grand, you get a lot of money from that. Do I condone it? Absolutely not. I think you're a sellout, but that people lie for money. There's a lot of money involved.
And this is why our industry doesn't get taken as seriously as it should do, because there's people that sell their integrity for
And this is
stuff.
why my YouTube channel will never run out of content, because someone's always being a cock.
Someone's being greedy.
Honestly, I love it because I get loads of DMs. I had loads because obviously she's blocked me, so I can't see her stories. Fantastic. And loads of people know she's blocked me, so I just get loads of DMs of pictures of her story saying, Harry, look at this. And I love it because I'm there like, without you guys, I would be nothing.
Living rent free.
Honestly, all my videos are now like audience suggestion, and it's the best shit because I know what people want to see now, and I can just I can actually talk about this because this is crap. I love it. It's just such a privilege. What are you looking at? Oh yeah, how many followers she got now?
Yes.
4.9 million.
No.
Oh.
She's got a few in that.
Who is this?
2.3.
She's got like over 5 mil on Blog of
Oh, the
Artists.
person he's talking about.
She's got over 5 mil on YouTube.
There you go.
She claims she gained 6.3 pounds of muscle in 30 days.
What have people been up to other than your TikToking stuff?
What have I been up to?
Anything exciting?
I did the Precision Nutrition Level 1 course in 3 hours.
Oh, was it good?
Fun. Yeah, well, I read the thing and it was like, yeah, this takes about 6 months. So I did all the modules in 3 hours and was like, can I have my certificate, please?
Yeah, fair. Why would you not start for good shit, man?
And the woman was like, oh, you did it quite quickly. And I was like, yeah.
So I'm an overachiever.
Can I have the... Well,
Give me my goddamn certificate.
I want my piece
Most of you
paper.
probably already knew though, anyway.
But the thing is, a lot of it was the applied nutrition stuff I did at uni, and then obviously I've done courses over the years, so I've kind of updated my knowledge that way. So, but it's actually a really good system. I've got to say, like this whole outcome-based coaching thing, like it's quite interesting.
That does sound. I quite like that. I like how you have the freedom to do them when you want to, sort of thing. So you could do in 3 hours because that's how I'd rather do. I'd rather just get over and done with.
Well, I did the first module and was like, oh, I aced the exam, and I was like,
yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I'll do the next one. And then 3 hours later, I was like, module 21. I was like, click, click, click. I was like, oh, done. Yay, level 1.
Do you think it was worth it?
I think that if you don't know anything about nutrition and you want to become a better coach and understand like emotional intelligence and all these kind of things, I think it's a great course. I think it's a good foundation for any coach that wants to become what a modern coach needs to be.
Yeah, link that to me. I'm curious to explore. It sounds good.
It's really cool. I'll link it over.
Cheers, bro.
Sorry, no, I'm level 1. Precision nutrition.
Congratulations. I haven't got a round of applause.
He's defeated the first gym leader.
Yeah, I got my first gym badge.
You can now officially say...
Oh my god. That scared me.
Yeah,
I'm vengeance.
You are vengeance now.
Please tell me you've seen that.
Yes.
The video, the kid. Oh, it's the funniest shit I've ever seen. It's a mum saying like, oh, what do you want for dinner? And the kid walks in out behind her and goes, vengeance, and then strangles her and pulls her to the floor.
Wow.
And it's like someone captioned it when your mum turns off the Wi-Fi router. I'm so like, yeah, every time, man. I love it. I'm going to show you after this. Can't do it on here. What have you been doing, Chris, apart from excessive cardio?
Excessive.
That's on my notes.
Yeah, a lot's happened between the last show, actually, in a kind of exercise, sporting specific realm. Sport mode, shall we say. I've started two things. I've started running because I wanted to drop some body fat and I wanted to get fitter for my climbing, because obviously I'm doing the climbing now, and I just wanted to get lean and stuff. So I thought I used to just come here to the gym in the mornings and do uphill walks, steady state.
I remember that
steady state cardio. But I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do that this time. You can obviously burn calories in a myriad of different ways. I'm already doing the climbing, which is kind of a cardio of its own. So I thought I'm going to go running. So I started doing that, and I started doing 5Ks. I'm now up to 10Ks. This is all in the space between the last episode. So I'm quite happy about that.
I wouldn't better do that.
No joke. But you probably could actually.
I did
with the right trainers.
I did a good 5K time down to like 23 minutes, which is good, and then a 10K. I did a slow 10K at the weekend, which was cool.
Your 5K split was pretty good as well for someone that's just got back into running. You put it on your story, didn't you? I was like, fair play.
Do you know what I love about Chris?
Go on.
Is that whenever anything occurs, he gets a sport anything, I see he knows what's coming. This man runs for the first time, gets sunglasses. He gets everything. I saw all the gear.
I already had that stuff.
Oh, of course you did.
I did buy new running shoes. That's the only purchase I've made running specific.
This man goes climbing. Second session probably buys a climbing ball.
No,
he's all the
second session I bought the climbing shoes.
I got to say though, I rate how fully invested you get into things.
Do you want me to add to that? Because I can.
Go on.
I'm about to add to that.
Go on.
Between now
and
a
running coach.
Between now and the last show, I've done the following things. I've done my skiing level 1. I've never skied in my life, so I thought, fuck it, I'm going to continue this vein of doing new things. Did skiing level 1 and 2 one day. Then the following week, I did my skiing level 3 and 4.
Where'd you do that?
What do you mean by skiing level 3 and 4?
Like snow skiing?
Milton Keynes, snow zone, actual indoor snow.
Oh yeah, that's good place.
I've never been skiing in my life.
Correct. So this was where I was a month ago. I'd never been skiing in my life, and I thought to myself, I don't like that. I want to be able to ski. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to learn to ski. So I did that.
How did that go?
Yeah, good. Basically,
can you do a flip?
Flying colours.
Can you do a flip?
Maybe
kick flip.
So I flew through the 1 and 2, which took 3 hours. Then I went the following week and did 3 and 4. And because I was doing well at it, they started doing me on level 5 stuff during that session.
How many levels are there?
It goes up to 6.
What do you get when you get level 6?
They just tick a few boxes.
No one's ever got to that stage.
I was going to say, is this like RuneScape? When you get to level 92, you're actually only halfway regarding experience.
It gets better.
RuneScape?
You not play RuneScape?
Yeah, I do. I was just saying
that game is my life. Honestly, I used to, back in the day, I used to sweat over that game harder than any game. I mean, like 10 hours a day.
Anyway.
Crickets.
And now I have officially booked a skiing trip in the next 2 weeks.
And now he owns a ski resort. He owns a ski resort in France. And now he's doing a podcast on Zoom.
Flying to Geneva and then getting to the French Alps.
And then he's going to the Winter Olympics.
And I bought some goggles yesterday. Like Oakley ski goggles.
I literally own 3 pairs of shoes, and I do everything in all of them.
And he's wearing all 3 of them right now.
It's not shoe. Why is that shoe specific to?
No, I'm just saying like how you get all the gear for everything is like I just go for
like you can't. I wasn't going to hire goggles. You hire the boots and all the other stuff. So
I'm going to go skiing in these. Just
buy myself some nice goggles.
I got some pink swimming goggles from Amazon for 99p. Just wear them. Be blessed. You borrow mine. I've got 2 pairs.
So, judging on what happened to Michael Schumacher, I don't think I want to go down a ski slope in your 99p ski goggles. I think I'm going to borrow Chris's Oakley.
I mean, in that situation, I don't think it's going to make much difference either.
You get a helmet. They'll give you a helmet.
He already is a helmet. Hey. Beat him to it.
So between the last show, I've basically got into running and skiing and just pursued them like a motherfucker, basically.
I like that.
Can we get you on some jumps?
No.
Can do a flip.
How are your knees?
I don't know. I don't know how well my hips are agreeing to it all, but I'm having to. My hips are not great, and in fact, I could definitely say. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling it.
When's your birthday?
September.
Guess who's getting a Zimmer frame? You are.
Yeah, thanks.
So
yeah, probably.
Mike kind of tickled the suggestion right there of us doing a ski trip, all of us, to like Milton Keynes. Imagine the vlog that would come out of that. The Pump Fiction YouTube channel.
So you two will have to do the lessons first before.
I don't need lessons. I'm the teacher.
No, but they won't let.
I'm with you. Surely they let me straight through.
Yeah, you are a teacher.
They ain't letting you on the main slope until you've done your levels up to 4. Basically,
so I need slope mode my own.
We'll go slope mode. Yeah. We'll go do our courses and then we'll.
Honestly,
is it just level 1 and 2?
What do you mean?
No, we need up to 4.
Do I need up to 4 to go down the bloody slope?
Yeah.
Can I snowboard? Come on.
I watched the people learning to snowboard at the same time as me learning to ski, and I'm glad I chose skiing because they spent so much time sat on their asses getting wet because they were literally and the reason they were getting wet is because they were getting covered in snow because essentially the learning curve for skiing is very, very gradual, and you just I haven't fallen over once.
Do you do the triangle?
Yeah, so the plow, they call it, to slow down.
I went skiing once.
And whereas snowboarders just were they look so frustrated with the learning process because it's a really steep learning curve and then suddenly you just get it.
Already got it.
I would like to snowboard ultimately because it does look cool, but I think I'd get more enjoyment out of skiing.
The thing is, I think when you're in the situations, you got to ask yourself, you got to look around and say, does anyone here actually know how to do a kickflip? Because if they don't, I've got a great video for that. Just saying.
You and this famous kickflip video that I have still yet to see.
Have you not seen it?
It's going to get to 1 million views one day. It's on 174
You've
right now.
still not brought a board in for me to try and kickflip live on the. Seeing as
when we start recording the video.
So as a heads up to you, lovely listeners, we have actually agreed that to celebrate episode 10, which is coming up in 2 weeks' time, we're gonna start officially filming this nonsense.
It's official.
So you can see all the facial reactions, all the the comfort water bottles, all the leggings, all that stuff. It's going to have its own channel. We're committed, and also I'd like to say thank you because we've already had over 5,000 listens.
Woo!
And that actually reminds me, I'm going to pull up some stats because I want to say hello to some different countries.
I've got an itchy bum cheek.
And also
we're international.
Yeah. So and also thanks for listening to Harry's constant bum cheek chat as well.
Hello.
Let me just pull up.
I'm thinking of all the apparel ideas that we could have that surround your butt cheeks. Yeah.
I still need to get on TFNL merchandise. I need to get that sorted. Can't wait till we do a TFNL Pump Fiction collab.
Got some new radical coaching jumpers coming.
Okay,
I'll buy one from you.
Hello, we got 16% of our listeners are in the United States. That's pretty cool.
Hi, friends. We got anyone in Australia?
Howdy. Germany, we're pretty big in Germany.
Is it?
They love the facts.
What percent?
Willkommen.
Oh.
Canada, some good Canadian listens. Hello, Canada.
What percent in Germany?
Germany's 11%.
Is it?
That's pretty high.
Impressive. What about the UK? Where's the UK on that?
We've got 20. We've had one episode had 24 listens in Vienna, specifically Vienna.
Where's the UK on that?
Well, now you've mentioned the skiing.
Vienna. What? Sorry. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Tune.
Australia 4%.
We need to crack that Aussie market, boys.
Yeah, I'm going to Australia this year.
Come on, mate.
Just wear a Pump Fiction t-shirt.
That's what I mean. I'm going to go promote.
Get a t-shirt cannon and just fire them out.
Get a bit of an accent.
I just want to go find some spiders. I like spiders.
Fucking spiders, mate.
And snakes. I like the.
They eat birds.
Yeah, I know, but
the spiders do.
I was that kid at school that used to collect spiders and just make them my friend.
That does not shock me.
That's bare rude, man. Crazy.
Also, additionally, Norway, Austria, Netherlands, Sweden, Belgium. It goes on.
So if America's assumed second highest, surely the highest will be UK, no?
Yes, 29%.
It's not much.
It's not much, yeah.
So that shows you how fucking global we are. Literally.
Thanks. Prestige worldwide.
Thanks for being our friend.
I don't know, yeah. I mean, that
Thank you
does
for
seem
listening.
to be... We've got, Estonia. There you go.
Oh, that'd be my dad.
I was going to say, hi, Mike's dad. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, John.
North Macedonia.
Not my dad.
That's me. I confirm that's not his dad.
South Korea. Obviously, North Korea not allowed.
You don't know that.
Well, they might be sneaky.
They might be on some kind of VPN situation.
Didn't they in Russia?
We'll know when we've made it when we get NordVPN. There's we're sponsored because that seems to be like that.
Have Russia blocked Instagram and everything now?
Actually, there isn't any Russian shit and Russian listeners.
Well, have they blocked Instagram and everything?
I don't know.
I know they tickle the idea because I think they have. I'm not sure, but I've got a couple of friends in Russia and they're being a bit.
There was
sneaky.
one listen in Kazakhstan. That's good.
Fair play.
Borat Town.
That's the fair play.
Is it's a bit offensive to talk about Borat in Kazakhstan because they probably fucking hate that, don't they?
I think they probably
do.
Yeah, they probably
really do.
Anyway, so lots of countries we do appreciate.
He got very sued for that movie, didn't he?
He gets sued for all of his movies.
Okay, fair point. Yeah. Also, I remember The Dictator when that came out. I watched it in cinema. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. Nearly walked out.
So bad. Yeah.
I nearly left.
Have you seen Batman yet? You two?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just me then. Don't worry, boys.
Did you like it?
Loved it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna try and.
I'm
go
gonna
see
say
it this weekend.
that I think it's my favourite one.
Wow.
Really?
Yep.
It is fucking good, but it's not.
And actually, I have to say,
I'm putting it in the group chat right now.
Batman.
I heard he did a really good job.
He nailed it.
I would watch a whole series of him being Batman for a while. I think he nailed it. And you know what? I love the drama of the film. Like, it was raining throughout the whole film. The mood of it was.
I heard it's quite dark.
Yeah, it's very dark.
Does anyone die?
Yeah.
Do they? Oh, I do love bit death.
Like, the first 10 minutes is pretty dark.
It's basically a serial killer movie. It's brilliant.
I do like dark stuff, despite how.
Have you seen Zodiac, the serial killer film?
Never heard
it's
of
a
it.
fucking great film.
Is that based on the Zodiac?
It's Fincher. It's a Fincher film. It's really good. But it's a serial killer vibe. Yeah, it's really good.
I've nearly finished Mindhunter off your recommendation.
That's very good.
And
I love it.
It's really good.
It's so good. And you know what?
Yes!
The BTK guy?
Yes.
Like, I watched that other series I was telling you about that had all the the crimes broken down. So obviously I'd seen his crime before, and as soon as I realised what I realised, I was like, oh my God. And then obviously I know the end already, which just kind of spoiled it a little bit, but it's interesting to watch how everything's...
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Is it 2 seasons?
So good. It is, yeah.
And for some reason they didn't make a third. It didn't
it got cancelled, I think.
I don't know why.
I thought it was really good.
Everybody loves it. It's like one of the highest rated things on Netflix.
Is that the guy who is it Ed, the big guy?
Yes.
He's a great actor. He did a really good job.
It's also, you should have a look on the internet for the likenesses of the people that played their serial killers.
The pictures.
They casted that really
well. Phenomenal.
I thought
Ed, whatever his name is, the big guy with the glasses.
He smashed it.
It looks exactly the same.
It's unreal. Anyway.
But yeah, that was a really good series. I rated that a lot.
Yeah.
I've watched 13 Reasons Why again. Have you ever seen 13 Reasons Why?
Do I want to? Maybe.
It's good. It's quite like a triggering series. It's very much about like triggering topics I probably won't say on podcast, but it's a good series. It's a really good series.
I don't think I've seen that.
In other news, I've got my mum eating the protein rice pudding that I make.
I still haven't tried this. I need to get the little sticky rice.
Well, she's recovering from a hip replacement, so I was desperate.
That's you soon.
I was forced. Yeah,
Does she go skiing with you as well?
My fucking future right there.
She level 6.
That's why she's got bad hips.
But I was just wanted to get eating more protein, because I know, like so many people if you're not fitness minded, the average human diet is severely lacking in protein.
I think the RDA is like 45 grams of protein a day. Or something stupid.
And those numbers are
they're whack.
So bad.
They're whack.
Because then people think that like that's health at that point. No, that's what you need to live.
Yeah.
But that's not healthy. No. It's just stops you from having
so many
bad
like
things.
Your average person will probably get like 0 protein in their breakfast. Like they're just, because obviously people associate meat with protein. I mean, obviously there's protein found in all things, but like, it baffles me that some people consider to be a good breakfast to start their day.
I actually had a conversation with my friend the other day, and she's kind of getting to the gym, into training, and she goes, I'm really struggling to hit my protein requirement. I said, what's your protein requirement? She goes, 60 grams.
Wow.
And I said, Chemas, that's just a big chicken breast. I said, honestly, just a bit past, you've smashed it. She's like, oh, I don't know about that. I was like, 60 grams. She was like, how much protein do you have? I was like,
300 grams.
I was like, nearly,
doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was like, first of all, it's irrelevant because you're never going to have that. Second of all, nearly 5 times that. Do you know what I mean? She's like, how do you do it? I was like, it's really actually not that hard.
It's so not hard.
Do you think that's because of we've grown up with certain meals being at certain times, like breakfast? We always associate that with like cereal.
You would never have chicken for breakfast.
Yeah. Whereas I would quite happily have some like chicken for breakfast.
Genuinely, one of the best breakfasts you can have is salmon, but people just don't want to do that.
Salmon for breakfast.
So I'll often do like I'll make a salmon omelette, for example.
Ooh.
And it's like all the essential shit is in there. All the if you can get wild salmon, obviously, if you can, then you get all the oil, the essential like aminos and the oils and all that sort of stuff, the megas and all that.
And the wild stuff's good because it's got all the other micronutrients in it you need. Whereas the stuff that isn't wild, they actually put stuff in their food to make it pink.
Correct.
Yeah, no, I heard that before actually.
So it's not that salmon's really bad for you, but it doesn't have most of the things in it that salmon's supposed to have in it. So if you get the wild stuff, it is worth the money if you can afford it.
That's the only thing. Is like these days, like being healthy is such a cost. Like even just fucking fruit and veg fucks me off, because like I try and consume a decent amount of veg, and it's just like veg is so fucking expensive. Like you could go and buy a shitty like ready meal or a sandwich for like, you know, £1, £2, whatever. But if I want to buy a decent bag of veg to have, it's like more than £2 these days.
It's that whole like farm to fork thing, isn't it? Like the amount of money it costs to keep it alive enough. And then if we ate more seasonally, potentially with our vegetables, like some countries do, whereas we in the UK, we're quite fortunate. You can pretty much get anything all year round.
Yeah.
Which there aren't some countries, like I think when I was in Spain, it was actually really hard to get certain fruit and vegetables because they weren't in season. So
you just couldn't get your Sharon fruit, could you?
My Sharon fruit.
What's that fruit that tastes like chocolate? Have you seen that one?
Dairy milk.
Dairy milk chocolate bar.
There's the one that's like a giant
It's purple,
thing.
right?
It's like this giant like brown thing, and you open it, it's like got the consistency of a pudding, and you spoon out and it's meant to taste like chocolate.
Vomit fruit, I know that from I'm a Celeb. I really want to try that.
Well, Harry, if you can supply us with that for the video episode, if you can get us the chocolate fruit for episode 10, that would be great.
You want me hunting around the dark web to see what I can import?
You live on the dark web. What are you even talking about?
The dark web.
For legal reasons, we cannot confirm or deny that statement.
I don't even understand the concept of the dark web. Is it like the browser's like night mode?
So basically,
it's like an unregulated part of the internet.
So you've seen the iceberg theory of like what you can see, what lies beneath.
I understand the concept.
The beneath bit is essentially the dark web, which is the Mike said the unregulated part of the internet.
Is there a different way into it? Like,
you need to get a special browser.
You have to access it through Tor, which is an external browser, which is a lot of celebrities.
What am I going to find on there that would be of use?
Probably
to me?
nothing.
You
exciting.
can buy absolutely everything though.
When I say everything, you can buy everything.
Literally everything is on there.
Really?
Based on what I've read,
you can probably buy
a
tank on there if you wanted
to. From what I've read and seen on like YouTube videos from like Mr. Nightmare, you can get anything on there.
Yeah.
And
is that you?
No, I wish. He's got like fucking 5 million subs or something.
Fine.
But I think a lot of celebrities use Tor because it's not traced. You can't.
Oh, okay.
So I think Mark Zuckerberg uses it. I know that.
Yeah,
because you can't track it. So.
You can even get like email addresses where like you just get it for one email and then it like deletes itself, so it can never be traced or anything.
Yeah, in 20
this
minutes.
Is all pretty exciting stuff, but it's probably not podcast worthy. So
everyone look at Mr. Nightmare dark web stories or deep web, whatever you want to call it.
I'm just about to press play on the intro music. Is that I'm pulling them?
Slap the button.
Oh my god. Hey, welcome back to Virgin Corner.
Oh, come on now, it's my place. Don't do that.
We're all in Virgin Corner today. It's me, Christy Fellows.
Wouldn't be Virgin Corner if that were true. I've got friends.
We can all just be virgins in a corner together.
That's literally what we do now.
It's me, Christy Fellows. It's him, Harry Moore.
Yes.
And it's the other guy, the good guy, the greatest guy, Mike Crayola. Mad Mike is here.
I'm never going to live that down, am I?
Say hello, Michael.
Yeah. Hello.
We are well, aren't we? We've already established that in the beautiful preamble that we are all doing fine.
Yes.
Yeah, there's lots of celebrities dying at the moment.
That's sad. I don't like that.
Oh, you did want to talk about Foo Fighters stuff,
No, I just wanted to say, it's sad that Taylor's no longer with us. Taylor Hawkins, drummer of Foo Fighters.
Yeah, I was pretty blown away by that, to be honest. But then these days, like the amount of kind of crazy unexpected deaths that just seem to be cropping up.
The sad reality is this was very much evident from when I'm not going to say it on podcast because it's a bit triggering, so trigger warning. When I lost somebody I went to school with, the sad reality is because so many things like that happen, be that through mental health or like other issues, the first response is no longer like that's awful, it's almost a who's next. Because it's such a regular thing.
We've become very desensitized to kind of unexpected deaths almost.
It's sad. It is sad because like things like these are happening, and obviously you're losing people that celebrities you look up to or follow, or like friends or people you associate with, and then it's just almost just normalised to some extent, which is sad reality. Is that is like you said, we're desensitized, and you're a bit like, this is awful, this is shit, but I wonder what's going to happen next.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
sad. Sorry, that's a really sad note.
Bringing it right down.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Right down. I went to an office once, had a Deadpool where everyone basically got to pick a person that they thought was going to die next, and then whoever died, they won the money basically.
That I'm not sure I would encourage that.
Don't encourage that.
I'm not sure.
I was pretty shocked when I heard about it, but I think it's quite a common thing. I think people played that game. It's pretty morbid.
I don't want to play in that office.
No, exactly. We do not condone that behaviour at all. We're very sensitive humans. Very sensitive. Have you got your water bottle?
Yeah, no, I've got one.
Is everyone hydrated? I've drunk an entire bottle of the water that Mike gave
Show me your piss.
What? If
you're not pissing clear, you're living in fear. Remember that, guys. Come on now.
You've heard it. You've heard it here before. You've heard it again.
Which ones? No, that's not something that should catch on. I don't think.
They're all still. They're all still.
Are you lying to me?
No. We were promised they were all still because we all know.
Sparkling.
No, it's not. Apparently,
don't believe everything you read, Harry.
We've been informed they're all still, because the three of us do all agree that sparkling water is the work of the devil.
Yeah, if you like sparkling water, unless I'll tell you one now, sparkling water with a bit of orange squash.
There he is. We said exactly the same thing. We should be best friends.
Absolutely
Well, of course it does. It's basically just fizzy, like a fizzy tango or something.
Honestly, it's
other orange drinks are available.
It's just Fanta. Bloody splendid. I don't like Tango or Fanta really, but I do like fizzy orange squash. I used to do it with Ribena when I was a kid.
I tell you what is a good drink. Cool. Get the 7-Up free and then add a little bit of apple and blackcurrant to it.
Do you know what I would just do instead? Get 7-Up, just normal one. I don't know no sugar stuff. I don't want that free stuff.
Shut up! You don't. So you're telling me that you drink sugary Cokes and sugary 7-Ups and stuff?
I don't really drink fizzy drinks, but if I go out for like a meal, I'll have a sugary Coke.
Oh my god!
You're
fucking dead to me.
Have you seen the TikTok of that guy that there's no fizzy drinks?
Famas, you only just catch on to him now?
No. I know about him
because the hello everyone, no fizzy drink.
It's day 55, no fizzy drinks.
I've been following him since day 2. Literally, ask Breach about it. We've been following him since the day 1, and he lost a lot of weight.
He lost loads of weight.
He looks healthy. He looks really good. He's having a kid now.
Oh, good for him.
He came up on my For You page for the first time in a year, and he just said, me and my wife are expecting. I dead ass nearly cried. I said to Breach, I said, I don't know this man. I'm bare happy for him.
The power of the internet.
Can I just quickly say that there's absolutely no proof to say that diet drinks are bad for you, and I drink a fuck ton of them when I'm dieting just because it keeps me entertained.
Also, back to the no fizzy drink guy, is that Breach hasn't played. This shows how long we've been watching him. I want to say since 2020. His Warzone COD name is No Fizzy Drink, from that guy. OG supporters, and this guy doesn't even know we exist.
Well, power to him.
Brilliant. Well, anyway, moving swiftly on to the crux, the core, the key parts, the key elements to this show. As always, we've lined up 3 key topics for you. We also have your usual user-generated content that you've submitted via the form on the Instagram. And we've got the usual random crap as well. But key topics today, we are going to be covering gym etiquette.
That's a big one.
We're going to be covering body dysmorphia.
Also a big one.
Huger one, I'd say.
Huger.
The
hugerist.
And then finally, we're going to be pulling out a little bit of diet chat to do with pre- and post-workout foods and the timings of those foods and all that sort of jazz.
Yes.
Everyone okay with that? We on board?
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that anabolic window.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much fun.
There you go. So anyway, shall we start, Harry? Shall we start, Michael, with gym etiquette?
Gym etiquette, manners in the gym.
This was actually submitted by one of you, the listeners, to the form, and it came from slightly anonymous under the name of Nervous Newbie. So
sounds like me.
Oh, right. So kind of fitting that they'd want to know what to do.
They
and
did
not
throw
to do.
up a lot of subjects, but I plucked out. We as a group collectively decided on gym etiquette to focus on. So guys, Harry, Michael, chat.
Etiquette.
Mate, I think I can sum this up pretty quickly. Is don't be a cock. That's pretty much it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you're in a shared space.
Yeah,
just share the space.
Exactly, share the space. Be considerate of people around you, as people should be of you. Small things like if someone's squatting, don't walk literally up their bumhole. Don't hug the bar.
Don't try and take the plates off the bar while it's moving. Have seen that.
I have actually seen that before.
Yeah.
Shouldn't laugh, but it's a bit funny.
Here's one for you: talking to people while they're working out. Because that is something I've seen through people showing me videos and things like that. During mid-set, I've always said respect the set.
Yeah.
Okay, as something that you should do.
Agreed.
But also at the same time, I think a gym is quite a weird place where people do weird things they don't normally do. Like they act in such a way they wouldn't normally. It's a very nervous place to be sometimes. So
yeah, no, I understand.
I think sometimes people, they pluck up the courage to ask someone, how many sets have you got left? They maybe don't think about maybe what the other person's doing. I've seen a couple of videos on the internet of people reacting very badly.
I think the thing is, when you're like with a friend maybe and you're in conversation anyway, you might do a set. Like you and I, for example, if I'm doing like an isolation, I might say, I am listening. I wouldn't respond, stuff like that. But if you'll go up to someone and they're doing a set and you ask them how many sets you got left, probably best not to. I think realistically, if you're able to talk during a set, you're probably not training hard enough. And
couldn't agree more with that.
Yeah, also, definitely. If you don't know the person, you don't have that established relationship where they've said something like, I am listening, but keep chatting sort of thing, then it's probably worth just waiting until the set's done and then being like, oh, sorry, how many sets you got left, sort of shit. thing I don't like is when people don't ask someone how many sets they've got left until they're done working out. So, well, then don't need to ask them how many sets they've got left. Like, if you're resting for 3 minutes, I think I could say, quick thing, how many sets you got left? I don't give a shit if you've got 1 set or 10 sets. I just want to know, am I going to do something else first, or should I wait around for 5 minutes?
I also think the key thing is if you're the recipient of that question, don't panic and don't rush. Just accept that it's a perfectly legitimate and normal question in that environment.
100%, yeah.
And just be honest and just don't cut down any sets just because you suddenly feel pressured. Because
no pressure.
Because someone bigger than you has asked that question. We are all experienced lifters. We have all been in the same situation. We just want to know how we're trying to keep the intensity of our workout. Therefore, we can structure it accordingly based on the availability of the equipment we need.
Yeah. It's literally a question of, first of all,
don't freak out.
You all have equal right to be there. If they're asking you how many sets you got left, they do not deserve it more than you do.
No, that's it.
It's more of they're probably asking because, like Chris said, they either want to know, if you only got 1 set left, I'll probably wait. But if you've got 3 sets left, I'll do another exercise first. So you kind of want to plan it.
We just want to do it so that we're not hovering around and making you feel nervous or put off. We're just going to quickly ask you how many sets you got left, or can I jump in between because I need the same weight? You can say no, and the person shouldn't react in a bad way about that.
I think realistically, if someone asks me how many sets I've got left, the go-to response is, let's say, I've got 2 sets left, but do you want to jump in? Which is no stress for me because I'll probably rest for 3-4 minutes anyway. And again, I won't accelerate that if someone's waiting for the equipment, but I will always offer, do you want to jump in as well? We can work in, and then when I'm done, I'll piss off and leave you alone, sort of thing. It's
like what you said, Chris, about how don't speed up your workout. It's not a closeted kind of question where it's like,
don't sacrifice your training for someone else.
I'm not saying in different words, hurry up now. I'm just genuinely asking you,
I don't care if you've got 10 sets left. I just want to know, should I do something else first?
Yeah, can I come back tomorrow?
Yeah, literally. That's it. I think the other thing is, this is what I wanted to touch on earlier, is filming in the gym. And the reason I want to touch on this, I see a lot of stuff on the old TikTok machine about this, of people walking. Actually, I've seen people on my story, or people I follow. I've seen some of you doing this. If you're listening, you think this applies to you, it may well. They'll be doing like an exercise and they'll be filming their exercise, and someone will just walk past the camera and they'll flip their shit to get really, this guy's an arsehole. I'm going to be honest with you, it's a public gym. Like, grow up. Do you know what I mean? I want to film my sets too, but if someone walks in front of my camera, it's a public gym. Most people will walk around it, but sometimes they don't acknowledge it. They don't realise it.
They don't see the camera.
And they're not doing it maliciously. They're more often than not, they are just, sorry, walked in front. Okay, well, fantastic. You've cut out 3 seconds of me resting between reps anyway, so it's not that deep.
Do you remember that we filmed a video years ago?
Oh, yes.
And there was a guy who hated you for some reason, and he
hated me because of you.
He happened to be in the background, and I didn't realise there was a feud of sorts between you, but I ended up editing the video, and he then commented on it, basically demanding to be edited out of said video.
Can I clarify, that feud, I'd never seen him before until that day. So the whole situation was, he was in the background. This is why everyone's like, why'd you get kicked out of your old gym? Well, this is why. So he was in the background of the video we were doing with Wifey, and when we did the bikini booty building day.
We did a lot of work on hip thrusts and building, like power strength training for glutes, basically.
Yeah. And this guy, we deliberately set the camera up so it would kind of point towards the wall to keep people out of it. Because sometimes I do think you try and be a bit respectful, because not everyone wants to be in the background of your footage. Absolutely. And if they don't want to be, they'll just jump in and say, look, sorry, do you mind if I'm not? No worries, they'll change the angle.
Yeah.
But this guy, his go-to response, he walked past the camera, which was deliberately pointed away from people towards the wall, and just swore, put his fingers up. I think it was towards you, or
I can't remember. Yeah, it was towards the camera or something.
It was towards Yeah, was it towards you? It was towards someone.
I just remember a really awkward situation. You didn't you have to have a word with him?
Yeah, so I went over to him. I said, look, what's the issue, essentially? He goes, I don't want to be in the camera. I said, yeah, completely fair, but I don't think swearing at us is particularly appropriate. You've disrespected my friend. I think it's a bit unnecessary. Blah, blah, blah. I was being better polite.
Did you say he was a teacher?
Yeah. No, I'll tell you the whole story. So I was being really polite, because obviously famously not an arsehole, I like to think, part-time. And he was getting really up in my face, like trying to get up in my grill. And I was there like, again, unnecessary aggression, don't need to be like this. And he's there like, I'm a teacher, my students have stalked me and slashed my tyres, done all this shit. You remember that well.
Yes, I remember the stalking.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, that's really unfortunate, sorry about that. I literally said to him, also, all you have to say is just, sorry, can you just change the angle a bit? it's no stress. I said, I really don't appreciate you swearing because it's just unnecessarily rude. He then gets really angry. I said, look, so now at this point, I'm being a bit of a wind up, let's be honest. I go, yeah, shut up. And then he goes to me, he goes, you filming us in the gym is exactly the same as me walking into the women's changing rooms and filming them getting changed. I said to him, I said to him,
oh yeah, I
said there's a massive legality issue overlooking there, but we won't get into it.
Yeah.
And then he gets really up in my face. I said, look, I understand you're feeling intimidated right now, but I don't think your response is necessary. So obviously I'm being a bit of a knob and one him up.
I love that passive aggressive.
And then because he was being really rude, and then I said to him, I said, look, we're not going to resolve this. I'd rather we could, and we just say, let's just leave it there. We'll change the angles, and you just say, my bad for swearing. That's all it needs to be. But you're not willing to do that. So let's go speak to management. So we did. And obviously it's all on camera. They've all got it there. He's being the cock. And he gets a warning. I said, fantastic. 2 weeks in, I get called into the office. We get asked to leave. So he gets a warning. I get asked to leave.
The injustice of it.
And then essentially I said, why? He goes, well, I'm going to be honest with you, Harry. I was talking to the manager at this point. Can't say his name because I'll probably get done for defamation or some shit. And then he goes, I'm going to be honest with you. We don't want you people here. I was like, okay, elaborate. He goes, yeah.
Powerlifters.
Yeah, he goes, we consider you heavy users. You promote elitism. You also use the equipment a lot, which means we have to spend money maintaining the equipment. I said, mad, it's like you're in a gym. And he goes, I'm going to be honest, our ideal member is somebody who pays but never turns up. I said, I guess it makes sense. He goes, you pay and you turn up a lot. So we just think it's probably best that you cancel your membership and you look elsewhere. And I was like, okay. So he goes, yeah. And obviously if you don't cancel your membership, that's fine. It's up to you. But maybe we'll have to talk about that, i.e. implying that he'd cancel it for us. So we did. So we got asked to leave.
Wow, I feel honoured to be part of the catalyst that got you out of there.
And then when I rejoined...
You dropped the hand grenade. And then
I rejoined like 2 or 3 years later, and somebody's, oh, Harry, great to see you. I'm like, shut up, you're lying. You don't care about me. The business has gone down the pan at this point. It was struggling anyway.
So I saw a video quite recently of 2 people in a similar situation. They were filming something like a leg extension, and this guy walks in front and then notices the camera and then comes over and starts basically screaming at this kid that's just doing a leg extension with his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
And then like keeps coming back, and they chop the video up. So then at some point he just walks past it and just kicks the camera over, and it's why are you doing that? Like,
I'm going to be honest with you. I think realistically, the majority of people acting like arseholes are usually just men with ego problems in the gym.
Yeah.
I rarely see women acting like arseholes like this. It's always the men that kick cameras over and be dicks.
There's always going to be the odd Karen here and there, but like, you are right though. That it is often like, I don't know,
blokes.
Realistically,
don't get my bad form on camera.
Yeah, literally just get better.
I did see a video though of a woman squatting, and a guy just comes over and just basically asks how many sets she's got left, and she like basically loses her shit. And it's one of those ones where then people like react to the video and they're like, that was so unnecessary. That guy was literally just asking you a polite question.
I've seen that video.
She got killed. And now if any video she posts now,
she posted it with a view to making him look bad,
and she took it down. And then every video now, you look at the comments, are like, yeah, but how many sets have you got left? Like that's every video now.
Funny.
And now she's just completely ruined. It's just...
The thing is, I think people feel very entitled in the gym, especially if you've got a few followers on Instagram. I notice people suddenly think they're suddenly like an influencer and they deserve their space in the gym.
But that's true of all walks of Instagram-based industries. Like
the way I see it is realistically, like I said, the gym is an intimidating environment. Everyone has an equal right to be there. If you want to film, you want to film. If someone has an issue with it, you resolve it.
You all pay the same amount every month.
Exactly. And the whole point is to make the whole situation, the whole environment as comfortable for as many people as possible. So if you don't want to be on camera, then you state that the person moves the camera. You got to work together. If someone walks in front of your footage when you're training, shit happens. You go to a public gym, get over it.
Yeah.
If someone asks how many sets you've got left when you're resting, they're very entitled to do so. Same vice versa. If you want to ask someone how many sets you've got left, ask them, but don't expect them to hurry up and accelerate their workout just because you're waiting. Work around them.
Their workout's just as important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, kind of as a side point, someone actually messaged in about like taking how to take good selfies, but their problem was that they felt so embarrassed that the phone was only out for literally half a millisecond before it went away again.
I'm going to be honest with you, I feel exactly the same. I'm scared to film myself in the gym.
You've probably seen, I will stand for ages trying to take a nice selfie of myself in the gym because fuck it, I don't actually care anymore.
And the thing is, no one else cares either.
No one else actually cares either because it's totally normal now. And also, I'm old enough not to give a shit. So,
do you find though that maybe if you were to watch someone else take a picture, what would be your thought in your head? So like you were training and you were like at rest period and you saw someone like Chris, like taking a little bit of time taking a picture. What would be your thought? Would you be like, that's unnecessary?
Well, he thinks a lot of himself.
No, I probably because my go-to would probably be like, I wonder if he's posting us on Instagram or YouTube because I saw someone in East Park.
Make sure I'm not in the picture, please.
I saw someone in East Park filming with a DSLR, and my first thought was, I wonder if he's got a YouTube channel. Do you know what I mean? Curious.
I think ultimately you do you because if you're making a living out of taking selfies and posting content and stuff, then why should anyone belittle that?
And even then, if you just want to take a selfie because you want to post something for you or for the gym, whatever, then fucking go.
It is normalised a lot more now. I'll be honest, when I see someone taking a picture of themselves, I think to myself, that'll probably be on Instagram at some point. Literally, I don't think like, oh, what a knob, or that person's full of themselves. Like, good, you're working hard.
Things have changed.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, if you want to take a picture of yourself in the gym for whatever reason, just because you want to show you're there or you're proud of your progress, you fucking
I think just double down on it. Like, if you're going to take a picture of yourself...
Just get your knob out and just...
Well, knob or no knob, and then you just get your phone out and you just make it bleeding obvious you're trying to take a picture of yourself.
Yeah, no one gives a shit.
And people are like, fair play, you look good.
And if someone does give a shit,
it's their problem.
You look at them dead in the eye, that's what you do. You look at them dead in the eye.
Would you like a copy?
You just say, grow up.
I normally just say, do you want to get in on the photo? Come on.
Do you want me to take a picture of you?
Come on, let's do this together if it's weird for you. But anyway, look, enjoy your time in the gym, essentially.
Yeah, do what you want to do, provided you don't negatively impact others around you. Don't bicep curl in a squat rack. Another good etiquette.
Put your weights away, for the love of God, please.
Says the gym owner, but I do totally agree with that.
Like, I don't even,
I'm not being funny, though. Your gym... East Park, everyone is pretty fucking good at that.
Do you know why that is? It's because from the very beginning, we set a culture where the staff were going around and putting things away and engaging with members, and the members felt like they knew the staff. So it was like, this is Mike's gym, this is Kira's gym, this is so-and-so's gym. So if I leave things messy, I'm shitting on them. That's what I think it comes from. Like, the staff engage with the members then feel...
The worst gyms I've been to for leave... Well, actually... Tell a lie. The worst gyms, the 24-hour pure gyms,
100%.
Especially if you try and go and train there at like 1 o'clock in the morning. It's like
honestly, people treat them like utter shit.
And there's some good kit in those gyms.
Yeah, some is not bad.
The one when I was working in one in Oxford, it was whoever was on the 6 a.m. shift. The PT would be like, they spend the first hour just putting all the dumbbells away.
Honestly, the night shift is horrendous.
And I just think what it is, I think it's kind of what you were saying, like, there's just a lack of respect for it. Like, the staff, to be fair, the staff are like, they're very, in those gyms tend to be, not all of them, do tend to be a little more selective of who they talk to. There's not so much of a culture of like, there's a little bit of us and them.
5,000 members, you're probably not going to...
And it is difficult. And because you can join these gyms without really having to engage with a member of staff. You get your PIN number online, you come in, you leave. Like, you don't need to talk to anyone.
People love.
Which is a great thing. But then I think what that misses then is that ability to kind of connect with the community. Like, this is my gym. I'm going to keep my gym nice. They just see it as this big chain that can just, if the kit breaks, I'll just buy more stuff. Why should I respect it?
The thing is, I think gym etiquette is funny because there are so many ways you could approach it. Obviously, you've got like kit and stuff. Also, another thing that pisses me off: don't superset on 15 different pieces of kit.
Also, maybe don't superset on 2 pieces of kit that are like literally at opposite ends of the gym
during very, very busy periods.
Yes, that's fair. Yeah.
Again,
be a bit smarter with your supersets.
Yeah, like if you're going to superset, then just be considerate.
Do it with dumbbell. Do superset a machine with a dumbbell exercise, so you can take the dumbbells to the machine.
And also, if you're going to superset, be open to someone else using your machine while you're not using it.
Yeah,
like that whole thing of like putting your water bottle or your sweat towel on it and being like, I'm using that. It's like, well, I just was watching you back squat, so I've just jumped in and you can have it back now, please.
Well, just have that discussion.
Just have literally put the water bottle next to it, and then someone goes, "Oh, you're on this. Can we work in together?" It's done. There you go. You work together. You're laughing. Dream team. Like, I think just just be more considerate, you know.
It's go back to full circle. It's a shared space.
It's a shared space.
Share it with other people.
And also bear in mind that like there's total respect for people at all levels. Don't feel like because someone is more advanced than you that they have a higher right to anything. Everyone has the same right to be there to use the equipment. Yep. And also in most cases, experienced lifters will be totally behind newbies and inexperienced people. So for you newbies that are are nervous about it, do not be nervous, because definitely. Literally if we as experienced lifters see you trying hard and doing your best, then we have got literally nothing but respect for everyone doing
we've all been there.
Do you know what I wish was more normalized? Acknowledging other people's like work in the gym. So I see
not just results but the work.
No, just them being
just
there.
The
so
effort.
I saw at East Park the other day this dude, obviously new to the gym, trying to get in shape, and I bet everyone just be like, good shit, man. Just good shit. I don't know him, but I'm just glad you're here. Yeah. I see on TikTok people walk up to people who are on the treadmill like training, and they're just like walk up to them and just be like, good shit, man. That's all you know.
Well done for showing up.
Yeah,
that's difficult.
But it's hard because you don't want to come across as like
condescending.
That's mine. Like you saying that makes me think. Oh, but does that make me feel like I'm being fucking condescending?
Or maybe like virtue signaling, like I feel so good for being so nice to people. Like I'm such a great person.
I just see people training and then like. Regardless of gender, I just want to be like, shit, man.
I think as an industry, we could do more to champion people's effort rather than the result.
That's the thing. I'm not looking at result. I'm just want to acknowledge, like, well done for being.
No, I agree with you. But my point is, I think we focus a lot on results. Like, look how strong I am. Look how great I look now. It's like also I think acknowledging just showing up and getting some work done is also I think that would help a lot.
That's what we should normalise.
Well, absolutely.
Appreciate the other people.
We're all there for different reasons, but fucking hell, we're all there to we should all be there to work hard and be applauded for that.
But it's like what Chris said. I think realistically, the more experienced you are, the more respect you have for those who are inexperienced.
Definitely.
I think when I was younger and getting into the gym, I didn't really care. I just wanted to kind of just crack on. As I got older, I see people coming in obviously new to training. I'm so like, I remember being there. It's a great journey to be on. And if you stick to it in 5 years, you're going to really see the results sort of thing.
One thing you might want to be mindful of is don't be that guy who tries to like balance on, like do press ups whilst balanced on like 7 stacks of dumbbells or like.
You might look like a bit of a cock.
Yeah. I hate.
Also, someone needs to use those dumbbells.
Yeah, but again, be shared space. Be considerate.
There was a guy at a previous gym that I went to who would seemingly do press-ups, but he would only do them whilst with his feet on a bench and his hands holding literally 2 plates. So he would literally use the handles of the plates. So therefore, he had to perfectly balance, and I can understand the discipline required to do that, but my god,
shoulder stability.
But my god, it was just like took up loads of space. It drew attention. He would fuck it up as well, and it's like, do you have to do that?
Trouble is, there are some people that just go to the gym just because that is the one space in their life potentially where they get people to turn heads and look at them.
Well, like there was anyone that does calisthenics.
There's lots of gyms I've worked in, like mainly the health club type gyms, where you'll get the certain person that comes in, in either really tight fitting clothing, man and women, and they just they're just there to be seen. Really, they don't really exercise with it. They're there for hours. They know all the staff.
We love a schmedium t-shirt and an arm pump.
Schmedium, and
my favourite.
They do that. So
that's what I do.
That is an actual size in America, isn't it? SM,
and that's why they're so ahead of the curve. Honestly, the curve is gone. They've made it.
We make fun of it, but whoever's on,
genius
from that,
genius.
All my Under
Armour,
Armour t-shirts that I bought back in the day when I was a bit smaller were SM, and they were great because essentially they were nicely fitted because I was more.
Do you know why they're great? Because they're not quite medium, they're not quite small. They're schmedium. That's
my Under Armour stuff doesn't fit me.
Too big.
I have large things like large t-shirts.
I'm only large and XL now, thankfully, because I've worked fucking hard for years. But
Under Armour stuff fits me. All the large stuff fits like a small or a medium. I don't like that.
I don't mind a tight fit though, Michael.
No, but I get sweaty and just nasty. It's
do you know what you should do? Shave your armpits. You don't see my armpits.
Can I just say quickly that
this is not an ad?
I did actually shave my armpits.
This is not an
ad. Harry and I were in the gym the other day, and he announced to me that he'd shaved himself, and that's something that I will often do as well when I feel like I'm lean enough. And I've been dieting quite hard recently, and I thought to myself, do you know what? Harry's looking good. I thought, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go home.
Treat myself to a shave.
And I'm going to...
Does it look like you have udders now instead of pecs? Because I look like I've got udders.
Interestingly, I've made the decision to leave the chest hair, but get rid of the ab hair and the pit hair.
Do you not just look like a really bad Neapolitan ice cream or whatever it is?
No,
Did you keep this for wifey? Does she like a hairy chest?
Women like a hairy chest. I'm putting that out there.
Does your woman like a hairy chest?
Yeah, I fucking hope so.
I think it depends. Some people don't. Like, my ex hated it. Ex from many moons ago, she hated it because I got really hairy chest and stuff. So
I don't know. I think it looks good with or without hair, the chest, personally.
Yeah.
I think realistically, I just shaved it because
I feel leaner when I shave.
Once every few months, I just think to myself,
Does it make other things look bigger?
I
like
wish.
your nipples.
I wish.
I just sometimes I say like I'm in the shower and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna be a bodybuilder today. Every 3 or 4 months, I decide I'm gonna shave my chest, and I'm so like, coach is gonna appreciate this, and they're like, oh man, it looks so much better. And then I'm done. I'm not doing that again for 3 months. It takes too long. It takes fucking ages.
Veet.
Oh, that's effort. I'm gonna burn my nipples off.
No, get the sensitive one. It's fine.
I do have quite sensitive skin. You ever seen Terminator 2? I mean, like, it's all multi-facey and shit. That's gonna be me.
Did you say
Terminator 2?
I thought you said Taiwanator.
I thought you said Timinator. I was like, is that the knockoff?
New movie.
made in Taiwan.
The pirate copy that no one talks about.
Oh,
but yeah, shaving your
Straight
armpits.
to video.
Shaving your armpits, though, I find is better for just reducing any like leftover body odor.
But you also don't realize how much sweat your armpit hair actually absorbs.
Correct.
Because now I'm, like I said in the video, I'm feeling very slippery right now. Like I feel slippery. My armpits are lubricated.
Good.
How often do I have to do it though?
What do you mean?
How often do I shave my armpits?
Not that often. Maybe once every week or 2 weeks.
You're pushing buttons here, big man. Every 2 weeks.
But the thing is,
that's a commitment for life.
Essentially, if you just want to keep on top of the old chest and the armpits and maybe the abs, then just leave a razor in the shower and just quickly touch it up every like 4 or 5 days. And no, honestly, because it'll be so little, you'll just glide over it.
Get a good razor as well.
Do you know how long it takes me? I didn't even clean shave. I just got the electric, the Manscaped one out. So do you know how long it took me?
Yeah, because
ages.
The first one will take ages.
But there's like a carpet you've got to get off at that point.
Yeah, so
when you're just gliding like a razor just straight over it, it's gone.
Now it's just down. Now, obviously, when it grows back, it will just be like stubble. That will come off well quick.
Need to do it now then.
Have you ever shaved your legs or your arms?
No, I kind of want to, but I'm also scared.
Obviously, given that I've done bodybuilding shows and photo shoots, many over the years, I have veted my entire body many times.
Have you?
Yeah.
Even the bottom?
So, yes.
Well, yeah, of course you would have to do the bottom. You
to be fair,
have a hairy arse cheeks.
Watch me.
Yeah,
you haven't got any hair on your arse cheeks.
I actually don't have a very hard. I've got,
and I know that because I saw them about an hour ago.
But honestly, the easiest way to do it is the Veet sensitive.
How much Veet do you have to buy?
Just buy one big tube. You're bigger than me, so you might need more. The way I do it is I use this is ridiculous.
You know what?
I hope I don't get this mixed up with the rice recipe. Otherwise, I'm screwed.
I lived in a house of only women for a long time, and obviously mum and sister shaved their legs and stuff all the time. Only now am I starting to respect the effort and the time they put in. So you know what? If you shave your anywhere at home, I respect you, and I hope you know that your effort is acknowledged here.
The first time I ever had to remove body hair, like years and years ago for a competition, I did it with a razor in the bath, and I regretted it because it literally took about an hour and a half.
Yep.
Whereas when I then learnt the magic of Veet sensitive, because I'm a sensitive guy, ladies, and gentlemen.
He's married. Careful.
Yeah. All right, come on. I can keep some sort of mystique about me, can't I?
He's not married.
What wife is listening to this and she's like, see what happens when you come home.
She's going to ruin his Veet sponge.
She's far more popular than I am anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But
facts.
Where was I? Yeah, Veet. Yeah, honestly, putting Veet on, 10 minutes done.
See, my friend did that and he scared me because he left it on for half an hour. I said he burnt his ballsack off.
Yeah, well, you fucking...
Yeah, don't think you put Veet on your balls?
Oh, he went everywhere.
No, you don't want it on anything sensitive.
Willie looking like a naked mole rat. Rufus from Kim Possible.
A bald cashew. You don't want to put it on anything like sensitive skin, like nipples or stuff. Like that stuff will do bits in not in a good way.
I feel like... So
because I've used Veet before and I definitely got some of my balls and that's not nice.
It's like when I put deep heat down there. Well,
The heat sensitive on your manly areas is fine.
See, I've got like
right
so when it grows out, I get a really hairy like front, like chest and belly and stuff. I got no hair on my back, nothing on my back.
Right, I'm going to put it out there. I think we should probably stop talking about removing body hair now, because this conversation is it's not got anything to do with gym etiquette whatsoever.
If you want to look more shredded in the gym, maybe it does.
More streamlined.
I think
I'm
move faster.
Honestly, I'm so aerodynamic.
Also, actually, body odor though, that is a thing. It's like, that's almost a bit of gym etiquette there.
Yeah. If you're a bit smelly boy, a bit smelly in the gym, just a bit of deodorant doesn't go amiss.
Yeah,
but also I completely acknowledge that in the gym you will start sweating, you may start smelling.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
There's nothing wrong with sweat. It's just the odor.
When you're smelling a bit like swamp ass.
Bit off.
Yeah, a bit like swamp ass.
Bit off.
Swamp ass. Didn't he play for Mexico?
I don't know. I was just thinking of a sweaty bum crack. Swamp ass. You know, if you smell a bit fruity, I always keep a bit of deodorant in my bag just in case.
Yeah.
When in doubt, spray it out. You know.
People get embarrassed about getting sweaty.
I don't give a shit if you're sweaty or smelly. I'm just saying,
people run hot. If I'm putting in a session, I'm sweating, my fresh sweat doesn't really smell.
I think sweat's more the smell's more the build up of bacteria and stuff over time.
If you sweat or don't sweat, don't stress. I think fair play. Also, don't champion sweating. I'm so sweaty, I must be working hard.
And don't keep reusing the same t-shirt every day. Just put a fresh one on for everyone's benefit.
Leggings you could probably use a couple of times, but t-shirt I'd probably one time and probably put it in the wash.
One time. Okay, cool. I feel like we're etiquetted.
This leads really nicely on to topic number 2, body dysmorphia.
Yes, topic number 2. I feel like we need little ident musical little bits.
What about
between.
A swoosh? I can just I
haven't really got. We can move on with this. Yeah, so
that's on Spotify.
What, Ronnie?
Yeah, Ronnie screaming is a Spotify song.
Can you imagine having that on loop?
No, it does.
There was a TikTok I saw a while ago with this guy was pissing his neighbour off, and he literally had something like that on one of those 10-hour loops on YouTube. Literally put the speaker against the wall and came back from work and had been playing all day.
I want to do that one day, but please tell me you've seen the Gravity talk with Ronnie Coleman.
No.
Oh, shimmy, it's the best shit I've ever seen. That Ronnie is a gift.
I'll check it out.
He goes, someone asked him a question Ronnie, your squat and your deadlift are the same. Why is that? Because you think about it. He goes, well, your deadlift, you're closer to the floor. You've got all that gravity down there. And your squatting is higher up on your back, and there's less gravity up there. I mean, technically speaking, as if you're many, many millions of miles away, the gravity is obviously the earth and shit, but 2 meters is not actually going to make any difference. So I just want to clarify that no, Ronnie, physicists aren't baffled by your discovery right now, although we appreciate what you're saying.
I think the gravitational pull is the same.
It's immeasurable until you're a certain distance away, and I don't think your squat and deadlift is far enough away from each other.
That's a guy who's dropped a dumbbell on his head one too many times.
That's a man who squats and deadlifts over 800 pounds for reps.
Before we move on to the next topic, shall we look at a confession?
Oh yeah, go on, get your Willie out.
We throw in a confession. Yeah, get my Willie.
We put some choir music on, almost like a confessional.
That's a good idea. I'm going to get that lined up for the next one.
Do you mean to sing?
Rather not. We want to keep the listeners, Harold.
Very rude. I wonder if anyone actually listens. I wonder if anyone actually listens this far into the podcast, or is it literally just us now?
Oh, it can't be that bad.
Because I listen to the whole thing.
What we should do is we should randomly drop something in at the end and be like, if you comment on something with this word, then we know you've made it all the way through. And if you do that, we'll give a prize.
If you're listening to this right now, send an Instagram message to Pump Fiction Pod.
Saying that you've drunk your water today.
Saying that.
Yeah, tell us how much water you've drunk today.
Just say Chris needs a hip replacement or something like that.
Fuck off.
Or just send a picture of a Zimmer frame.
Level 6 ski.
So maybe don't bully me. As Harry insists that you do, maybe do something more just to acknowledge this.
Just send us the middle finger emoji.
Yeah, that's
good enough.
Now the poo one.
Send us a poo.
Send us a
emoji. Just to clarify.
A poo. Yeah, text us an actual poo.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Have you ever done that?
Have you ever sent someone a poo?
No, done the whole thing on the doorstep with the bag of poo and set on fire.
Who does that? That's an American thing.
No, who does that?
Who does that? We do Halloween. We do lots of things.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Anyway,
that's a bit wild.
Who does that?
Gym confessions. I think we've even said this ourselves before, but I'll read it anyway.
Go on.
It comes in from
Definitely done the poo.
Brianna, and it says, I work in a gym, so I experience a lot. One thing I remember the most is a guy taking the weights off the barbell after squatting and had only done one side.
I know where this is going.
And the bar wasn't centered on the rack. The bar then tipped to one side and everything fell on the floor. That's probably my worst fear. Luckily, no one was hurt and nothing was damaged.
I would say that will happen even if the bar is centered on the rack, and I've seen it happen in the gym, and this is like a catapult.
I think we talked. Didn't me and Harry talk about the catapult that we saw at our old gym?
Yeah, wait.
I saw it. There was a PT at a gym I worked at like 10 years ago, and she was quite a short PT, and she literally walked, and the barbell must have been less than a foot in front of her face. And on CCTV, it is terrifying because this thing moves so fast; it's just a blur on the camera.
So my friend, I remember I was like 19. I went to the toilet, came back in. As I was walking through, he was unracking the squat bar, and it was like 3 plates on either side. He took off the third plate, and it just went whoom, and literally nearly nailed through the glass because the gym, like the walls of the gym were like glass.
This happened when I was in Shanghai. We had a gym, and the squat rack was next to a window.
Mm-hmm.
We were in a meeting, and we heard this smash. So I ran out to the gym. And this had happened. It catapulted through the window. We were on the 2nd floor, so it had gone out the window.
Oh, that's impressive.
It had gone through so underneath us was the entrance to an office, and it had one of those like glass roof. It had gone through that and impaled itself in the pavement.
That's best scary.
If someone had walked through that, it would have split them in half. And I was like, we need to put the Smith machine here, and we need to move the squat rack to the side, please.
I technically did do it once, but not with a barbell. Remember, bamboo bars?
Oh God, yeah, they're terrifying.
So obviously I took a plate off on one side, and obviously in my head I was using a barbell, completely forgetting it's a bamboo bar.
Nothing.
It weighs
literally
3 kilos.
nothing, and I took a plate
that.
off, and that shit flipped, and I was so embarrassed. Oh God, that was the worst day of my life. But yeah, that does really happen. Be careful with the barbell.
Yeah, you can put about 40 kilos on the side, if that.
I've seen people brave 3 plates moving the bar over. I would never dare do such an act.
Two plates.
Two plate gives me anxiety, but I will do it.
If you're not sure, take some off one side, keep enough on the other side.
I just to and fro, back and forth.
Yeah,
a
that's what
bit.
I do.
I just do 2 plates at a time, max.
Okay, another quick confession. Just quickly, this is from Anonymous. It says, there's a man who wears matching sweatsuits to the gym, including a matching hat and shoes. He's a legend.
Yeah, completely agree.
I reckon he's in the mafia.
I bring him down here. First guest. I want to shake his hand.
Tony Soprano.
Honestly, that man is a king.
I've always wanted to go for the full. I mean, I sometimes wear
tracksuit.
I'll often wear a matching baseball cap to go with my basketball jersey, but I can't do the full uniform. That's a bit ridiculous.
Everyone think you're an athlete.
Yeah, and that I'm clearly not.
Do you play yourself? No, I just watch on the telly.
I'm actually level 4.
But it's the full tracksuit vibe. I don't think I'm not in Run DMC. I can't get away with that.
Hi guys, I just want everyone to know I'm a level 4 skier.
Yeah, I could bring my certificate.
Just wear your skis in to the gym.
Chris kind of guys can walk up to him and be like, oh, Chris, how many sets you got left? Yes, here it is, my level 4 certificate right here. Just want everyone
I think that only applies to that snow zone place. It's not like something you carry around with you around the slopes in general.
Oh, Chris, how are you doing today? I'm glad that you asked. Yes, you're right, I am level 4 qualified. Here you go.
Yeah, I can carve out a sweet turn. Yeah,
I can do many a kickflip on that.
You would love to show everyone your kickflip 1,000,000 times. But it'll never happen.
Let's find out.
So let's move on then to a very, very big subject, or small, depending on your outlook. It is body dysmorphia.
Where to begin?
Okay, so I'm going to say, I think out of the 3 of us, I've probably suffered with this the least. So what are your experiences with body dysmorphia? What is it, and what are your experiences with it?
Right, so I'll go first on this. Because I feel like over the years I've kind of felt it a lot, because obviously I did bodybuilding. I've done bodybuilding for years, and when I first started I thought that it was going to be, I remember going to Ryan, who's one of my best mates now, but he was initially my coach, and he took me under his wing and trained me up for my first competition and that, and I was basically convinced, I knew fuck all at this point, so I was convinced I was going to end up looking like Ryan Terry by the end of my 6-month prep or whatever it is I did, not realizing that I was only just going to essentially be revealing all that muscle I'd been working on for several years in the gym, which wasn't a lot at this point. So anyway, I got quite small for the competition. I was absolutely shredded, which was great, but I felt tiny. I think I weighed like 66 kilos or something, which is not a great amount for someone who's 5'8". Anyway, that's irrelevant. The journey after that, obviously, is a journey to try and get bigger and bigger, or to improve and to build and so on. Now, obviously, fast forward, let's say 7 or 8 years where I'm at a size which I'm quite happy with. Let's say so compared to 66 kilos lean back then, in that time I've got up to 74 kilos lean, let's say. So that also shows you that the patience required when naturally trying to acquire muscle, you need years of time to gain, even a few kilos of muscle. Now, if you showed that person who started out the picture of me, let's say 8 years later, I would have been blown away by that. I'd have been like, I would have paid thousands of pounds to look like that I did, let's say, like I do now, let's say. However, I'm here now, and yet I'm still not happy. I'm still in the quest to be better. I'm still, okay, yeah, I look all right, but I still will feel small when I diet, or I'll feel fat when I'm off season. It's all these things. And yet I've come on such a journey, and to be honest, most people will probably tell me I look great, but in my mind, it's not good enough. And that's just something that I have to live with. But equally, I'm proud of how I look and the work that I've put in, but there's always going to, just because of the very nature of who I am, and I'm a competitive person and I want to be the best, I will always look at someone bigger than me and be envious of that.
That's what I was going to say. Do you think it's the comparison?
Yeah, of course it is, because I, through competing, which I loved, but equally I was, you would put all that work in to get on stage to be told you're not good enough, essentially, because someone else is bigger than you or be better than you or takes gear and you don't.
Yeah.
So it creates these kind of strange opinions of yourself, and it's kind of, everyone deals with them differently, I suppose, and that's my own personal thought on dysmorphia and how it's affected me. But what I can say is, I think the older I've got, the more kind of pride I take in what I've achieved, and I am happy with how I look. But equally, there is still that feeling where I still feel small, even though I've just said to you on this episode already that my clothes sizes have increased, dramatically over the years, to the point where when I bought a suit, I was at the very limit of suits I could buy off the shelf before I had to get custom bespoke suits and then get them. I still have to get them tailored. Even if I buy a suit which is like a 44, 46 inch chest or whatever, obviously because that's designed for someone, a normal person of that size with body fat,
straight up, straight down, isn't it?
Straight down. It's like I look like Mr. Big in like a massive like billowing suit, so I have to get it tailored. It's ridiculous, but that's just what you sign up for, essentially. So that is about it for me.
I did wonder, because obviously your sport, it being quite subjective as well, like you do value the opinions of others and your critiques as well. Do you think that gets into your head a lot as well? Like someone,
of course, yeah, because it's such I'll be honest, bodybuilding is a bit of a shit sport because it's not black and white at all, apart from races, obviously, lol. But it's not really, because ultimately it's a panel of judges who decide what they like the look of on that day. Whereas obviously powerlifting or other sports where the fastest person wins or the strongest person wins, it's cut and dry.
It's more objective.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it is tricky, and I say it a million times. You have to compete for yourself, and obviously that's impossible to. You don't turn up that day and get on that stage thinking. You don't turn there saying to yourself, "I don't want that trophy," because you fucking do.
Yeah, you're competitive.
You're competitive, and that's probably why I ended up probably doing more photo shoots than I ever did bodybuilding shows, simply because that was for me. That was for me to mark. Because if I look at the photo shoots I've done over the years, I can see that progress. The photos are still cool, but ultimately I can mark the occasion with that instead. And I'm fine with that. Or these days I don't even do photo shoots. I just look good for, in life in general, and that's fine, or holidays or whatever.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for bodybuilders, because when I was a young coach, I actually was very anti-bodybuilding, and the only reason why was because I saw so many coaches pushing that on as the pinnacle.
Yeah,
and that actually made me so anti-bodybuilding. That's probably why I went down the realm that I have done with my strength and performance, because I was like, well, that's more objective and that gives me numbers and I like data. I like to do that. But I think as I've gotten older, I now can appreciate like what you said, your story and your journey, because I just didn't like that it was pushed on a lot of people as the pinnacle, because I always thought it was unhealthy, like as a sport. But then all sport is unhealthy, really. And you're at the pinnacle of it.
I think also it's key to look at why I got into it in the first place, because essentially it gave me, I like being in control, I'll admit that, of myself, and bodybuilding seemed like a vehicle for me to be able to better myself, to improve myself.
Yeah.
And I came from a background of being on stage in music, because I was in a band for like 10 years, performing and touring and playing gigs and being pseudo famous. Like I would sign autographs and shit, and I was played on the radio and things like that. So having to go from that to nothing, when I stopped doing that, I was a DJ and stuff, but it wasn't the same. I found fitness and I was like, right, I need to get back on stage somehow. I need to be in the spotlight again. It's super, it's really vain and all that sort of stuff, but I guess that's part of who I am. I quite like being, different.
Sure.
So that was probably
turning heads.
That was probably my reason for doing it. So therefore, it's kind of horrible, really, because you think that it's going to come quickly, but bodybuilding is probably one of the most patient. Well, assuming you do it naturally, one of the most patient things you can endure.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
And that's the thing. The more you learn about fitness and what you need to do, the more respect you have for people that can go through it.
But back to the dysmorphia side of things, it is tricky.
Yeah.
Harry.
Harold, what about your experiences?
Pitch in.
Go on.
Hello.
Did you have any thoughts on my story before you start?
No, I'm just taking it in, and I'm just taking it in, listening, and observing. I think body dysmorphia is a tricky one, because I think it's like with depression or any kind of mental health hindrance. There's no blanket. This is depression. This is body dysmorphia. It can look like so many different things depending on the individual. Some people see themselves as bigger than they are. Others smaller. So many things to consider, and it's tricky because you've got to consider why things like this are occurring. A lot of it comes down to what you mentioned earlier about comparisons. It very much comes into like the realm of psychology when you look at social comparison theory, which is Festing in 1954, I believe, and all those good bits and bobs. And now we're living in the world of like media exposure, where you wake up, more often than not, most people listening to this will probably check their phone, TikTok, Instagram, something. Whatever they're doing, they're looking at somebody who they may perceive to be better than them, therefore upward social comparisons. Therefore, even from the get-go of their morning, they're engaging in a social comparison, which probably doesn't make them feel too good about themselves, their life, whatever it may be. And I think when that realm comes into it, where I think comparisons have been so heavily normalized that you can't be surprised that people don't feel good about themselves, and people are developing things like body image issues such as body dysmorphia, because the world we live in very much encourages it.
Well, I actually wrote some notes on this, because I think you touched on it with social media. The problem with that is if you followed 100 people that had abs, you would have this false belief that you are surrounded by people that are always in better shape than you.
Yeah, out of the 101 people, you being 100 you follow, you're the only one without abs, therefore you're wrong, sort of thing. It's the kind of idea you adopt. I think the issue I kind of had when I got into like the realm of fitness is I had this idea when I was like 16, I want to say, when I started training. I was like, you know what, I'm going to train, I'm going to appeal to women more, I'm going to get jacked over summer, come into sick form because I'm going to a new school, I'm going to be huge, everyone's going to be like, wow, you're so juiced. Because I saw WWE wrestlers, I saw movie stars that were all in great shape, and I was like, I want to look like them. And then you don't, and you're like, well, shit, I feel crap now because I thought I was going to get huge in 6 months. But as Chris said, shit takes years. To gain some muscle, that shit takes years. And I wasn't aware of that at the start. I'm glad I wasn't aware of that at the start, because if I was, I probably wouldn't have started. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah. So I'm glad I wasn't aware, but obviously now I
agree with that.
Yeah, but now obviously I'm too invested to ever not continue this now. And I think the thing I noticed is the bigger and bigger I got, the smaller and smaller I felt. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Like I started my journey, when I first stepped foot in the gym, I was about 16 years old. I weighed about 57 kilos. So I'm nearly double that now, and I probably felt bigger and more confident in my body. Back then, I'd walk around in the tank top any day. Now it's like Chris got my tits out the other day for the first time in a long time. It's a rarity. Not because I think there's anything wrong wearing a vest in the gym. It's more of you take off your top and then you see the vest and you're like, I was kind of hoping I'd be bigger. Do you know what I mean? That's essentially what it is. And
that the mad thing is that to me, you're massive. Like, and I look up to you being bigger because obviously you are a bigger human than me.
But I don't feel it.
No, but that's it, and that's the problem we both suffer, is that we're both aspiring to a look that is bigger or better than where we're at the moment, instead of appreciating what we've achieved in ourselves.
It's one of those things that, like, part of the reason why I actively don't put my body on my YouTube channel, I'll always wear either a big t-shirt or a jumper, so no one actually knows what I look like, and it always comes from a high to low angle, so it makes you look even smaller, is because I never want anyone to watch my channel with a comparison of Harry looks like this, or I don't want them to compare themselves to what I look like.
You don't want them to make assumptions of you based on what you look
like,
or
that if what you're saying is true based on how good or not good you look.
Yeah, essentially, like the few things I always said is I don't want my worth to be dictated by my appearance. I don't say, well,
which people place a lot of value in that.
Massively. I want people to. I don't want people to invest in me because of what I look like. I want them to invest in my content and my personality, and also the comparison of, I don't want someone to look at my video and feel like they are less than or different, and therefore feel worse about themselves.
It's not the focus of the video.
Yeah, because my physique is on show, whatever. I'm not saying it's a particularly impressive physique or anything, but somebody may compare and feel worse about themselves. It's just not what I'm trying to promote. Instagram's different because that's more personal for me. Instagram's like a training log, really, for me.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's tricky because body dysmorphia has always obviously been a thing that's now been lingering for 11, 12 years, I guess you say. I actually did like a article on, the university paper, The Tab. They did when TFNL was first established, they did like an article on body dysmorphia and featured us in it, which was good.
That's cool.
But I don't think people understand like the extent to which it can impact you.
Yeah, it's invisible, isn't it? Because it's in someone's brain. It's
like, I think people,
you can tell someone to the blue in the face they look amazing, but if they don't believe it, they will not see
it doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
I think the reality is a lot of people at home probably going to resonate with what myself and Chris are saying about not feeling good enough, not feeling like you're worth enough, or not feeling like you've achieved what you expect to achieve, or you don't look how you want to look, because ultimately you look at influencers online that look in your eyes better than you, therefore you're worse than them. And also it's hard because it's quite demotivating. It slaps your motivation because you go balls to the wall in the gym so much, and then you look in the mirror and you're just like,
I'm the fucking same.
Yeah,
half percent improvement.
I literally don't feel I haven't improved, I haven't done this, when categorically you do a side by side of the last 3 years, you'll notice a difference.
Yeah.
But you see it every day.
You can't have that perspective in real time though. You can't look in the mirror and then suddenly flash up 3 years worth of progress pics.
I think it's probably why most years I will always endeavour. So after January's out of the way, I'll probably start dieting a bit to try and get tight again, maybe on the journey towards spring summer months. And I do feel better about myself when I'm leaner. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, it's hard because you've obviously identified when you feel better about yourself, and you can obviously work towards that sick, especially now summer's coming along. It's almost like ideal. But then I think a lot of people can flip around the other way, as they're scared to get leaner because they don't want to lose size.
Yeah, I've spoken to so many people that have not continued their diet journey to get lean because they felt small on the way to that. And then what I would say to that is ultimately trust that process, keep going, because you can actually begin building up again and building from a leaner platform that way, and you can maintain an aesthetic and build muscle from a base if you're in control of your calories and your macros and so on. Don't be afraid to get to that leanness, and also you'll be able to really see what areas you might want to improve on. This is from a bodybuilding perspective, of course.
And not everyone should get there.
No, not at all.
It's
a personal thing. Yeah. Like not everyone not everyone likes that look and doesn't want to feel like that, and they might want to be stronger, and they might just not everyone has to be fucking lean. That's the cut and thrust.
I think having a team, sharing your experience with people, I think is really important. I think it helps you understand that having someone else that can put in an opinion, providing that they're a healthy, positive opinion.
I think the thing is, when it comes to like your body, there are a few things to note and acknowledge. Is ultimately you have to pursue a goal that you want to achieve, not a goal that you feel you should achieve because an influencer looks a certain way or what people around you want you to achieve. You need to say, do I want to get leaner? Do I want to go through a massing phase? Do I want to do this? Whatever that is, identify what that is. That is your goal. You need to have a why behind it, saying, okay, that's what you want to achieve. Why do you want to achieve it? Is that I want to achieve this because my boyfriend thinks I'd look better that way, or do I want to achieve this because I will feel better looking like that?
Why do you want to get big?
Yeah.
No, Harry.
Why do I want to get?
I'm asking you now.
Mass insecurities, probably. I know.
Is it because you want to compete? Is that your ultimate goal? Is that what drives you?
Or do you think you're going to compete because you've realised how big you could get? Actually, I could turn this into something else, like a platform I could go. There's nothing wrong.
I don't know. I think the competing was more like let's give it a try and see if I like it. I always like the bodybuilder look.
Know how much is involved in that. You can't just say. You must be more invested than just say, "Oh, let's give it a go."
I've been in the gym for so many years of my life now. It's like, let's just see what happens. Like the gym is always the gym to me is not an investment in the sense that I don't have to think about going. I brush my teeth because I brush my teeth. It's just day. It's part of your day. I go to the gym because I brush my teeth. It's part of my day. I don't have to drag myself to the gym ever. It's always, I will wake up, I'll do this, I'll go to the gym.
I'm not myself if I haven't trained.
Yeah. I feel shit if I miss the gym, but not in the sense that I'm obsessed with the gym, but the gym...
we take rest days.
Yeah, I take rest days, but the gym always grounds me to some extent. I've said many times before, one of the few areas of my life where I know I can actively, essentially control the progress in which I'm making. It's also one of the few places in my life where I'm surrounded by people that I just like being around. You go to school, you go to university... 9 times out of 10, you probably don't like half the people you're around. At the gym, I either don't know them, therefore don't have an opinion, but I appreciate them being there, or I'm surrounded by my friends. And it's just like, I walk into the gym and I've made my closer group of circle, all of them in that circle have or either have taken the gym quite seriously at some point in their life or still currently do.
Yeah.
Just because it's just such a common denominator between our relationships is we all understand. Even if they don't go to the gym now, they understand. And then we just got that kind of the relationship.
It's a positive place. And although everyone has different goals, everyone's there for kind of the same reason. It's to kind of to try and change something and do better.
You just want to do better.
I don't really have too much experience with body dysmorphia, but I definitely got into training for the same reasons as you both, for vanity to start with. Like, I would see the Men's Health cover model and be like, he looks amazing. And I was this skinny 17, 18-year-old kid. Like, I was a nice boy, but I didn't get any attention. I didn't feel confident in myself. I wore so many layers of clothing to try and give the illusion of size because I didn't have any. Yeah. And I spent years messing about, just trying to get bigger. And I think at the moment that's kind of a bit aimless with my training at the moment, and I think
you got other shit going on.
Yeah, I know. It's what you said just now actually, which rung true to me. Like, I'm not training much as much as I used to at the moment for various reasons, and I definitely don't feel myself. So it's
like
definitely
somebody's missing a bit.
Yeah, definitely. And same as you, it kind of grounds me a little bit. It also adds a bit of structure to my day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was also something that every session you put in is working towards something. It's like an investment, like a pension.
Absolutely.
Like you're investing in something. And I know that's why I say to my clients that no session is a wasted session. Like you get something done, and that's kind of how I feel about myself with my training.
You know, one thing I can say actually, that does in some way help combat the dysmorphia, is when people just lift each other up.
Yeah. No, I respect that.
Like,
yeah.
Say for example, someone the other day said to me that they didn't like the way they looked. I said, send me your progress pic. Let's see how you're doing. Send me a photo. They looked awesome. Yeah, they weren't shredded, but they looked really good. And I said, what are you talking about? You look great.
The thing is...
And they're surprised to hear you say that.
Yeah, but it can change it for them in an instant.
But when, ultimately when someone tells me that you've got a great physique and all that sort of stuff. Okay, it's a bit superficial, but it does help. It does help to do that.
I think when we're in our own thoughts a lot, it is nice to hear externally someone else has turned around and said, I recognise your hard work. You're doing a good job.
Who doesn't love a compliment? Just appreciation of effort.
But also that's another good reason to have a coach help you on a journey instead of doing it yourself and then ultimately you give up because you've second-guessed yourself and you don't like how you feel. If you've got a coach or someone in the background telling you, no, you look great, keep
or
going.
even just trust the process.
Yeah,
on your team.
Exactly.
On your team, with your interests at heart and looking out for you.
I think the other thing you've got to acknowledge is that we've all spent a significant period of our lives in the gym. Therefore, we've now recalibrated what normal looks like. So you go in the gym, you're surrounded by people who are bigger than average. Even if you're just an average gym goer, you obviously go to the gym. Therefore, you're probably going to be bigger than someone who doesn't go to the gym. You have more muscle mass.
Stronger, more
Therefore,
knowledge.
Your normal has gone from here to here. So when you see a guy with 18-inch arms, you'll say, oh, he's in good shape. But someone who doesn't go to the gym sees a guy with 18-inch arms, they're bloody hell, he's a mutant.
What a freak.
But to us, that's like, oh, that's fair.
It's my fault for training with Ryan for so many years. Obviously, he's over 100 kilos and he looks incredible. So therefore, whenever I train with him, I'm like, why did I even fucking come right now?
I'm going to get back in the car. That's actually a good point that I was going to say about with you earlier Harry, when you mentioned about as you got bigger, you felt smaller. Do you think that also a part of that is because then you started to kind of like big fish, small pond, and then you started to be around people who were bigger, and then you almost elevated your expectations because you said your normal moved.
Yeah,
so,
I think it's one of the things when I started, I was kind of in like less bodybuildery, like hardcore gyms. They're not necessarily changed, but less independent typical gyms. Therefore, the people may not necessarily be as hypertrophy focused, things like that. Yeah. But then obviously you get more progressive. Like for example, when I joined my first powerlifting gym, I went from never seeing a 4-plate bench press really to 5 people in that gym doing it. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to be number 6. And now that's kind of normal. And then you move on to other gyms. Like I go to my gym now where a lot of the guys there are big fucking dudes. And I'm so like, that's now normal. And it's something, but it's hard because I can look at someone else who's obviously recently gone to the gym and I'd be like, you know what, doing a good job. Like, you're looking good. They don't have 18-inch arms or anything, but you look at them and be like, yeah, good stuff, man. But I couldn't apply the same logic to myself.
Yeah,
no,
do you know what I mean?
We're not very good at following our own advice.
Yeah, people have told me off for that, and then but they're guilty of doing the same thing, and it's just like we're all fucking human at the end of the day. But I think the best thing we can do is just keep being positive about each other, and then that's.
I think the way I see it is realistically, if you're in the gym, you're trying to actively make it, like you said earlier, make a change or do better. Then there's always that level of respect, and I always found that level of respect was more prominent in independent gyms. Because people go there to get away from the commercial crowd. Again, nothing wrong with that crowd, just a different type of gym goer. But ultimately, I think this applies to all genders, is that if you're following an influencer and you consume their content and they look amazing, but them looking amazing makes you question how you look and makes you feel worse about yourself, unfollow them.
Unfollow.
First of all, they won't even acknowledge you've unfollowed them because they don't know. They've probably got tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. And also, secondly, you're following someone's content that's negatively impacting you. If you wake up and you see this person who's sponsored by this company posting this stuff and it makes you feel shit, bin them off. Every time you see a post that makes you feel like crap,
if it doesn't motivate you, then get rid of it.
Yeah, literally, if it doesn't enhance your life, therefore, by default, to some extent, it's hindering your life, sack it off. Yeah. Go through my following list, see how many influencers I follow. 0.
I think it's all about creating a positive relationship with exercise.
Whoa, you follow me.
Apart from Chris, the only influencers I will follow are ones I actively have conversation with, like JPG, and I chat here and there. It's people I'm invested in.
Yeah, I get it.
As like not just there for their content, but actually as a person I've spoken with.
Like I said, it's about creating a positive attitude towards exercise. You don't want to be like, you don't want to look at a post of someone who you quote unquote think is better than you. And think,
absolutely.
I need to get in the gym. I need to, I'm so frustrated with myself. It's like, no, you should be like, that's good that they're having a great time. I want to go to the gym.
I think the thing is, I get using that stuff for motivation. Fine, if you want to, go for it. The thing you have to understand is somebody's physique does not dictate their worth. Does not dictate their quality of a human, does not dictate their right to be alive or any of that. Their physique is merely an aspect of them. That does not change how valuable they are as a human. And the other thing is, just because they look a certain way doesn't mean you look wrong. Just because you look different doesn't mean it's wrong. Yeah. It's merely just different. It's apples and oranges. And ultimately, you should not take away from your own value and achievement just because you feel like somebody's doing better than you. Because arguably, whether they're doing better than you is subjective. You may say, this person looks better than me, but someone else might actually say, well, I think you look better than them. Even if they do, why are you comparing in the first place? Who cares? Do what you need to do for you. Fitness is meant to enhance your life, not hinder it. If it's taking away from your social life, from your mental health, and from your physical health, that's hindering your life. Therefore, something needs to change.
I'm pretty happy with our discussions, chaps. I don't really. Yes. I mean, ultimately, we're not gonna debunk or figure out dysmorphia because it's such a huge thing. Ultimately, it's
very personal.
Yeah, I actually did my master's thesis on the media's impact on our body image.
Yeah, it's huge. It's massive.
That's a topic for another day.
It's freaking massive, guys. And much like Harry, who's also freaking massive.
No, you. But yeah, I think ultimately the media doesn't help. No, the media has changed our our standards of normal.
It is
and also bear in mind it's not reality. Photoshop enhancements, all that shit exists.
Just be proud of the work you're putting in and the work that you have already put in.
More time on you.
And I think as well, like, it's important to take home that everyone kind of has their little suffering with it. I think everyone's gone through it all. We've all gone through it all, and I think everyone.
So if you see me stood in the mirror taking a selfie, it's because I'm just making sure that I
say Chris looks big.
That's the other thing.
Telling me he looks great today.
That's the other thing is like when you look at people take a picture in the mirror, it's almost like surely you should encourage that, because it's not because they think they're the best or whatever. It may be somebody who is
helping them with their fucking confidence.
Yeah, it may be someone who's quite insecure, maybe suffering body dysmorphia, and they've got an angle where they say, you know what, for the first time in weeks, I feel like I look okay. And they're like I said, it's helped with their confidence.
I feel good enough to document this moment in time.
Yeah, I've got an angle, and I feel for the first time in weeks, I've said to myself, you know what, you look good. I want to take a picture of this just so I can just be proud of it. It's not an ego thing. It's for the first time in weeks, they've acknowledged that I feel good about myself. I tell you what, encourage that photo.
If you have made it this far in this episode,
go take a gym selfie. Be proud of it.
Our challenge to you now...
Take a selfie and tag us in it.
Our challenge to you now is to take a selfie and story it at Pump Fiction Pod with the hashtag self-love-selfie.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, media.
And even better, come to the gym, East Park Gym in Woking, and take a photo with us. Take a selfie with us and cuddle me.
Come and bother Harry while he's training. And
I promise you, if I have my headphones on, I look really grumpy. I'm actually not grumpy.
Ask him how many sets he has left.
Give me a cuddle.
Yeah.
Not when I'm doing a set, though, because I'll probably far from you.
Send us your self-love selfies, please, because then we'll ultimately know you've made it this far in the episode, and we're fucking encouraging you because we think you're all fucking excellent.
Yeah. Tag it in the pump. Tag me as well. Tag Pump Fiction Pod. Tag Harry_Tiff. Now tag all of us, and we'll all share it to our stories.
Chris D. Fellows.
Can't forget the D, please.
Don't forget
there's
the
a
D.
dot between Radical and Mike.
Radical.Mike. Can't you just make it Crayola Mike?
No, because no one was...
Doesn't look good for the brand, okay?
Yeah, I don't work for Crayola yet.
But yeah, tag us in your shit, and we'll repost it to our stories.
And we'll champion your story.
Got to build people up. Got to hype them up. All in his High School Musical said it. We're all in this together.
Great.
That's a great song.
We are very much all in this together, and this is
friends that anyone could have.
This is going to take us into the end zone now, which is the third topic.
I forgot there was more.
Yeah, one quick last topic because we have rambled a little bit.
I need a wee.
You can't do that on this episode. But it is pre and post workout foods. And this is actually a subject that I threw into the mix myself.
He's a bodybuilder.
But I actually think I think that it's relevant to talk about, because I like bringing up food and nutrition a little bit in our episodes, because the basics are quite important, and I think one basic thing to think about is what you eat before a workout and what you consume after a workout. Thoughts, feelings?
What angle are we going to take with this?
Could take a few.
Well, it could take a few really. Like what do you regard to be optimal process pre-workout for fueling? For
someone, we'll split it like this. We'll look at three avenues. We'll look at the general fitness goer.
Yep.
We'll look at somebody who's maybe more interested in like strength, sports performance.
Yeah.
Away from bodybuilding, like functional fit, like CrossFit, things like that. And then we'll also look at somebody who might be more interested in bodybuilding as well. So we split into three areas.
Okay, so general.
Yeah. So I think ultimately in general is that you kind of you just
if all calories are already considered, like you've got all that in place, then I think eat kind of what feels best.
Yeah, eat what feels best, what you can digest best, and what you just feel makes you feel like prepped for a workout.
Yeah, a key lesson for a general lifter and anyone is to not eat a good meal, but not too close to the workout,
and don't eat too much before the workout.
I would pitch between an hour and an hour and a half to have a decent meal before your workout, but don't stuff yourself. Just put, if you've got carbs available to you, then make sure you've definitely put them in that window.
And don't be afraid of salt.
Yes.
And water.
Agree with that. Salt gets a bad rap, and I don't know why.
It really does. I think general fit. It's quite an easy one for general fitness. Is just eat a meal that you could digest well, good size but not too big.
Consider carbs.
Consider carbs at least an hour beforehand, and again, don't skimp out on salt and water.
Kind of move your foods around, knowing that you're going to have to work out. So you don't want anything that's going to be
too heavy.
Too heavy, so you're not bloated or.
Post-workout for a general lifter, we might as well race through.
Same sort of thing. Eat something that you could digest well. It probably for a lot of people go in the evening, maybe might be your dinner, might be something like that. Just have a good meal.
Prioritize protein in that.
Make sure you definitely
definitely
get your protein in. Again, we can touch on the anabolic window very quickly. Yeah, shut up. There you go. Touch on
Close the window.
There you
move
go.
on.
Windows closed.
Shut the window behind you.
I think ultimately the anabolic window is that kind of concept. You have to consume protein or carbs, whatever it is, within like an hour or half an hour of working out.
Let's be honest, it's been something that's been created by the supplement industry.
Very much supplement
because
so
ironically,
they can do post-workout shakes and stuff,
which is 30 grams of protein, which is ironically
post-workout shakes are good.
They are good.
They are good because obviously your body will absorb a post-workout shake better than pretty much most solid foods quickly. But that's only in relation to the speed. It doesn't ultimately, you could do it with chicken, you could do it with, whatever you want.
I think, don't buy into if you don't hit the anabolic window, you're going to lose your gains, because largely, unless you're I think it's more of a relevant factor for consideration if you are enhancing with insulin, therefore you must consume a certain number of carbs.
I don't actually think we have many like mass monster listeners.
Might do. Who knows? Who knows?
You're out there,
you can't make these assumptions. But ultimately, Eat when you can.
Yeah, I think prioritizing the protein helps as well, because if you're like a general user, you're probably not eating loads of like meals.
I think
probably 3 a day.
Yeah,
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Get a balanced meal in.
Just have a good dinner.
But I'm quite happy to say to people that most, even general lifters, will benefit from a protein shake, because the likelihood is they're probably not getting enough protein in a daily diet.
Definitely treat it like a snack, almost like a protein snack, like you get.
But don't feel like you failed yourself if you haven't gulped it down the minute you get in the car.
No. I sip at it.
If I'm having a shake, I'm down that bitch in seconds.
Nah, I'm just a good 20 minutes for me.
No, I'm not.
Seconds done.
Seconds, honestly, I challenge you.
You just said don't worry about gulping it. So
but
I'm just
do as we say, not as we do. There we go, fixed it.
Okay, fine. Next level.
Sports, performance, functional fitness kind of things.
A lot more carbs, I'm going to be honest.
I think it's going to be very similar to bodybuilding.
It's going to be quite similar to bodybuilding, but it's just a lot more carbohydrates. You don't need to worry so much about...
You don't want to be stuffed for your performance.
No, but you'll find in performance sports, people will go to simple sugars, like simple carbohydrates, because you need to access
Haribo.
I think the thing is the quantity of food may be similar to, let's say, a general gym goer, but the macronutrient breakdowns of that meal may be different. Like I said, more carb dominant.
Yeah, they're looking for more like denser carbs, like more sugars essentially.
Yeah, fast acting carbs. Sort of thing.
You kind of you want calorie dense food, because you're just using a lot of calories. Because if you're doing performance sports, that's taxing. You're using a lot of calories.
To also clarify, none of us are like dietitians or anything along those lines. We're merely speaking from just personal experience.
With clients,
not asking you to ever apply any of this, just kind of saying what we do personally.
Some people do performance sports, and depending on the sport you're doing, like high fats might be better.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing kind of ultra marathon.
So say longer distance, longer duration.
Probably say, you want to make sure like you're probably a little bit more keto based with your diet anyway, and you just need to make sure your electrolytes and things are all in order. So like your salts and things like that are just so important for...
That's one thing, So essentially, if you're doing an exercise where you're going to sweat a lot and you're going to be losing body fluids, then that's where the salt really comes into play. So do consider that. Don't be one of those people who doesn't, I don't add salt to my food. I don't put salt. I cook everything from scratch, no salt. That's actually quite detrimental.
Yeah, I think it got a bad rap years ago because they did some research and found hypertension and
no
things.
more than, is it 2 grams or 6 grams of salt? I can't remember.
Stage 2 hypertension. I'm not even going to say the story.
So I think with performance, you lost your lid, you lost your top. Definitely more carbohydrates, but again, similar probably to bodybuilding in the sense of like, but you just need to time these carbohydrates around your training, because obviously you're looking for a performance. So whether you're a powerlifter or crossfitter, you're going to want some carbohydrates prior, but also afterwards carbohydrates to recover.
Yeah,
and also get the protein in to help with the recovery process of that.
Got my lid back. Don't worry, guys. Dropped it. Back.
So with bodybuilding, then
no. So just to wrap up on the performance thing. Basically, if you're a performance athlete, you don't give a shit what you look like. You just want to be the best at your sport. So get as much fuel in before and after that you can handle without compromising performance and recovery.
Yeah, definitely, and be fueling throughout the day as well.
I think,
fueling up for your session.
Solid. Yeah. I think regarding bodybuilding, it's not wildly different. I think ultimately the way I approach it personally is beforehand, carb heavy meal, obviously for the old training energies and things. Realistically, if you want to get really anal with it, you might say you'd prioritize something like fruit, because fructose digests really quickly. So again, that's a consideration. Intra-workout, again, I hammer a load of... Also, before pre-workout, I have some salt, and I make sure I drink enough water. So I usually have like a quarter of a teaspoon of salt or similar. So it's like maybe a gram.
I have never done that.
I just shove it in my mouth.
I would actually say with performance as well, like actually having intra-workout carbs and things helps, especially doing a long workout.
San Efferding, for his football athletes, he makes them consume about 10 grams of salt on game day, because he said so many muscle tears were occurring from people just not having enough salt in their diet.
I love that.
So he's big pro science. He's the one who really introduced me into it, and he's a very respected coach and also a very respected powerlifter and bodybuilder.
He is strong.
I do put salt on all my food because I am very conscious of that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so
and it helps with like pumps and all kinds of things that bodybuilders
helps with
love too.
digestion too.
So carbs before. I told us my pre-workout meal is largely only carbs, like maybe a couple of bagels and some jam, might be 100 grams of carbs, something like that. Bear in mind,
people are like, wow, he gets to eat a couple of fucking bagels before.
Yeah. But that's very individual to you, isn't it?
Because I consume I consume a lot of calories and a lot of carbs. And then, like I said, a bit of salt in a teaspoon, shove it in my mouth and drink it. Sick, love it, tastes like the sea.
You don't have to do that,
You
guys,
really don't have to do that. It's literally just for me because I don't have a lot of salt before training. Otherwise, I'm not going to salt my bagels. You can, but
you don't salt your bagels?
I don't salty, jammy bagels. That's a bit weird.
Sweet and salt is the best.
I've got these electrolytes that are flavoured. They're actually really nice.
And then intra-workout, I've got my maltodextrin.
I was going to say maltodextrin. Also, I've been using cyclic dextrin.
Okay, yeah,
that's quite good.
So I hammer another.
Also known as cluster dextrin.
So I hammer another 100 grams of carbs intra-workout.
My God!
And then post-workout, again, this is also consideration that I have to eat so many carbs. I want to get it in very quickly. Post-workout, so immediately when I get in the car, I have another 100 grams of carbs, usually in the form of two crispy squares and 2 bananas. And then an hour after that, I'll actually eat a protein dense meal. So in that kind of 3-hour window, I'm consuming over 300 grams of carbs plus an additional meal. But again, it's because I have to eat so much food.
Right. So for the record, Harry is massive compared to...
I'm definitely not.
Compared to me.
According to YouTube, I'm very small. Thank you very much. Someone actually... I did a video on Caroline Gavan or something, like a influencer, as someone commented, she probably has more muscle mass than you. I said, she probably does. Fair point. So no, I'm actually very small.
No, but in fairness, so obviously I've done bodybuilding a long time as well. I'm a lot smaller than Harry, but my prep for a workout and post-workout is very similar, but I would definitely be nowhere near the amount of carbs that he's having, and mainly because I'm obviously, let's say at the moment I am in a deficit, so I am dieting. So therefore, I will position, when I'm dieting and I'm in obviously less carbs, less fats and so on, I'll position most of my carbs for the day near to my workout, because ultimately if you are in a deficit, you want to make sure you're fueling that workout to get the most out of it.
And if your carbs are a bit limited, carb timing is a bit more relevant, which is why Chris pushes them around his workout.
Yep, so that's why I probably aim to have my carby meal an hour and a half before to give me the best opportunity to have a good workout. So I'll probably have a portion of rice with my protein source or what have you. But also before a workout, I'll generally try and position some fats. Especially if you're dieting, I feel that fats play a good role because they slow down the body's absorption of those macros and nutrients and so on. So therefore, I don't want to, because my body's obviously quite hungry because I'm dieting. Without the fats, it's just going to burn through those carbs a lot quicker. So therefore, I'll put them before my workout. So like peanut butter. I know you hate, Harry.
I love peanut butter.
You dirty pig.
I love my nut butter, so I'll have that before a workout. So therefore, during my workout, if I can allow it, I will have some extra carbs in there, maybe 30-40 grams of my cyclic dextrin or whatever it is. If I can't afford them, I won't bother. I'll probably just have something to sip on, amino EAAs.
I also put EAAs in my intra-workout.
Yeah, EAAs over BCAAs. Do not have BCAAs, have EAAs.
Yeah, BCAAs are basically you pay for flavoured water, put it in the bin. EAAs from CNP. Shout out future sponsorships, mate.
There we go. Well, that will be mentioned when I speak to them.
Love your products, big fan.
And then finally, after my insanely awesome workout, even though I am in a deficit because I sensibly positioned my carbs close to the workout, I will have a protein shake If I'm dieting, then I'll put a little bit of carbs in there, whether it be like if simply you could just put some oats in it, or you could have a quick meal afterwards, like rice and egg whites, for example. But if I'm deep in a deficit, then I'll probably just have the protein shake and get the fuck on with it. Probably some creatine at some point as well.
I think, again, Mike will probably be able to expand this more than I can. But wasn't there a lot of research suggesting that if you can spike your insulin, you can then improve absorption rate of nutrients post-insulin spike? So
getting a bit technical there.
So like if I were to... So this kind of partly why I did it is to hammer my post-workout, like my bananas and crispy squares. Again, quite, not entirely, but more a lot of sugar dominance, like simple carb things. And then very quickly after that, like an hour, then have a protein-rich meal. The theory behind it was to then improve the absorption of that protein following that post-insulin spike.
There's also some research to show that if you mix up your kind of simple sugars like fructose, glucose, all together, you actually absorb more of it.
Because that's why I kind of mix, multiple. That's why I don't just have bananas or just that. I kind of try and mix it up.
So instead of absorbing like a couple of grams, you can absorb up to 9 or something ridiculous if you mix your sources together.
Something that I remember speaking to a good friend of mine who I have said I'll get on the pod, Alex Ferrentinos, nutritionist, who's very experienced and stuff. He always did push different types of sugar after a workout. He would say get a fruit-based sugar and then simple sugars as well. Yeah,
which is kind of a lot. That's good because it's reassuring for what I'm doing and which my coach very much suggested, which is those two different types of post-workout before then insulin spike, then having the protein-rich meal afterwards. Again, this is from the perspective of optimizing bodybuilding.
Exactly what I was
do people listening to this need to apply that much detail?
No, probably not.
No.
Anal approach to their food. You're 99% of you know.
You're listening to the two people on this episode who just went deep into their dysmorphia. So
this is not healthy.
I will say though, from a performance perspective, actually doing those kind of things, absorbing carbs is helpful. But I agree with you. Like most people who just want to look good naked and get in the gym.
That's all I ever say. Just want to look good naked.
We're looking for that extra 1% if we can. If that comes from 50 different variables, and we'll try and chase it.
Move the big rocks. You know, get your diet a little bit tuned in. Lift your weights.
Do what's best for you. Yeah. We can remain consistent with this because it's part of like our lifestyle. Yeah. But if you can't, then don't stress. And also, it really is honestly not that deep.
It's that whole on-off approach.
It will largely come down to calories in versus calories out, depending on what you're trying to achieve.
Guys, it's just not that deep, all right?
It's not that deep.
We're all cool. We're all looking good. If you've got to the end zone, then please let us know that you made it here.
With your selfie.
Hashtag end zone. Hashtag self-love selfie.
Yeah.
End zone better than end game. Change my mind.
End zone.
I didn't like end game.
I thought I was really disappointed. I went to the midnight release of it and everything. And
of course you did.
Wow. I went to the midnight release of it too as well. But it was good. Wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Thought Infinity War was better.
Sorry, Tom Young, by the way, who's probably just fallen out of a chair.
You're gone. Throw hands to Tom, see what happens.
For the record, I love all Marvel films, but yeah, I'm not in a hurry to watch either Infinity War or Endgame.
Infinity War bangs.
No, they're great films, but I just feel like they're just sagas, aren't they? They're just like epics.
I'm sorry, but Thanos is probably one of my favourite characters to have ever existed on.
He is great as a character.
Thanos is good.
I think.
I love the baddie.
Josh Brolin, isn't it?
He smashed Thanos. It. Did a good
Mr.
job.
Baddie.
Really good job.
He's a great baddie. He's also the baddie in Deadpool as well.
Yeah.
So clearly built for that shit. He's also stacked as well. Takes a lot of gear probably.
Good for him.
Lucky him.
Ultimate
Health
Hollywood
and fitness.
actor.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you're looking at your superheroes on screen and think, you can follow
They're probably on drugs.
You can follow their men's health workout and look like them. Yeah.
Probably
that was me.
Well. Yeah,
that was me for years and wondered why I wasn't getting anywhere.
To this day, I still have about 100 Flex magazines in my cupboard.
I've got my stack as well. We should bring our magazines in. I've got all my muscle and fitness magazines.
If we ever get a pod room, we should make a wall of a collage.
That actually be really cool.
Things.
That's pretty good.
That would actually be a really good nice idea. Not because we back it, just because look at all this shit.
Well, this is the evolution. This is whether you like it or loathe it. This is what our industry was based off.
And that's what we started on.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's official. We've finally done an episode that went over 2 hours.
Oh God!
Thank God we didn't film this one.
But thank you very much for coming to this level, this depth.
I'm so sorry.
I think it's been pretty good. We've had some great topics today. We've had some generally good content, and we've had some fun. along the way. But thank you for making it into this very extra special 2-hour end zone. Let us know if you made it, please, because that would probably stop us from worrying that we're boring the fuck out of you.
Life with me is a party.
Yes, and on that note, say goodnight from Mike.Radical over there.
No, it's Radical.Mike.
Fuck's sake.
That's got the most confusing name. Wait, what? Goodbye.
Radical.Mike. Harry_TFNL over there.
Hello. Love you.
Thank you from me, Christy Fellows. This has been episode 9 of Pump Fiction, and we've made it this far. See you later.